And we are live. Welcome everyone to Coaster Time. I am your host, Kara Gilgan, and today we are joined by a first-time Time guest who you may remember as the winner of the Cedar Fair Coaster Draft. So very much someone who is familiar to the channel, which is of course none other than Coaster Evan. Evan, it's great to have you on here on as a guest after all these years, and just great to have
Yes,
you on here today. How are you
great
doing?
to be here. I'm doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Do you have any places, or actually, I have the links in the description, but for those who are looking to find your stuff, where can they find you?
At coaster_Evan on Instagram, uh, mainly. I say in my bio in there, I started a YouTube channel. There's still no videos on it, but I intend to make videos at some point.
Yeah, I mean, when you do, I'll definitely check it out. But
Oh boy.
make sure to check out Evan's Instagram. Link to that is in the description. And with that being said, I plan on going straight into our first blind ranking. Also, if anyone here is in the chat, sometimes notifications get out a little slow, and I know the timing was a little different than usual. So let us know if the audio is good. So we'll just mention that real quick. But the plan here is to go into the blind park ranking. So I will wait for uh, to get confirmation in chat that the audio is all good, and we'll go from there. Segment we have not done here in several months. I think the last time we did a blind park ranking was maybe back in August, September, whenever I had Coaster Josh on. So it should
Oh
be a
yeah.
good time to do that. Happy to bring it back after all this time. So let's see here. So still not getting anything yet. Okay, got confirmation. We are good to go. Great.
Okay.
Welcome to the stream, James. And I will get us started here. So, just an explanation for the rules for those of you who have not seen this before. Each one of us are going to be competing to blind rank 10 North American parks. The parks we are picking for are determined by a random wheel that has 100 parks around North America. We'll alternate between picks, have time to explain our thinking, and time to also do a little bit of research before we do our picks. And you, as the chat as well, can get involved and give suggestions and info about these parks that maybe neither of us have been to. So you can be involved there. And by the end of this, we'll do a vote to determine the winner of whose blind ranking is more accurate. So you can get involved that way. I will also post this on Instagram, so we have just to kind of see if the results are any different. And that's going to pretty much lead us off from there. So I do already have the massive wheel of doom
Oh my
up and
goodness.
going.
Okay.
Actually, Evan, if you could give me a random number between 1 and 10, that would be great.
4.
All right, so I'll shuffle this 4 times. And then I will go first for this, just to
Okay.
show. Okay, the audio is off for the wheel because sometimes I forget to disable it, but we have it here. And so the first park we're getting for the blind ranking is going to be Disney's Hollywood Studios. Okay, so
Okay.
went to this park back in, I guess now 2 years ago now almost, which is crazy. I think they have a very good like top heavy ride lineup. Rise of the Resistance is one of my all-time favorite rides, although I only have experienced the Disneyland version, so I'll just kind of apply that here. Um, and then they also have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is another favorite dark ride of mine as well. Tower of Terror is excellent, one of my favorite drop towers. And then you got a few other attractions. They don't have the largest in quantity, but I think the quality is there between uh, Toy Story Mania, Star Tours, Smuggler's Run as well. Rock and Roller Coaster, can't forget to shout out that. This early in the ranking, it is a pretty weird one to get, to be honest. I'm kind of between 3 and 4. Um, I, you know what? I think I'm gonna go
4.
could come back to bite me. It might be a little low. I was
Okay.
very much tempted to pick 3, but with it being like the very beginning,
Hmm.
it's that's the route I'm gonna go. You have any thoughts
Okay.
on? And also, I guess we can share thoughts on each other's parks as well,
Okay.
as we're
Um,
going through this.
I haven't been to Disney World since 2006.
So it would have
Uh,
been like MGM probably.
I think it was MGM then. We went once. There was no, they didn't have Star Wars, obviously, but they also didn't have any of the Toy Story stuff. Or I think, like, we saw that stunt show with
Oh,
the
the Indiana
drifting
Jones.
cars.
Oh,
No,
oh
the
no,
one,
the
the
Cars
backlot
one.
one. Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's sick.
yeah. It was, I mean, yeah, that was kind of cool. But I mean, I guess about four is right. I might have gone three. Uh, but I don't want to say too much because you're about to spin the wheel for me.
Yeah, that is true. As we get to the wheel here, and we'll get your park here. So this will be your first one to work with. I
Mhm.
also didn't mention it in the rules, but for those of you who've never seen this, you cannot move these parks once they are put in. So we get another
Mhm.
Florida park, but this one being Legoland Florida.
Uh-huh.
Where do you want to place this?
One of the few places I haven't been to, I did go to Legoland, New York.
Okay.
Uh, it was like, tell me you used to be a cornfield without telling me. It was relatively weird, wasn't a whole lot of shade, but very charming. Um, I liked it, so I think, and the Florida one I've heard is bigger, um, and this doesn't include Peppa Pig Park, right?
No, we're ranking the parks individually, and because that is a
Okay,
separate admission, that is not
okay,
really part of the consideration there.
okay. I
Good
would go.
clarification.
I'd go. I don't want to go four, but I feel like four.
Okay,
Give me four. Uh, ooh,
that is, I'll admit, I probably would have gone lower, but at this point, so early in the ranking, kind of hard to gauge what we're gonna end up
yeah,
getting. So I can respect that. I think the Legoland parks, there are a lot of things to like about them, having been to California a few times. So um, I get it from that standpoint. Okay, Wonderland Amusement Park in Amarillo, Texas.
oh,
Um, Never been here, unfortunately. Very kind of quirky ride lineup. They're probably most well known for having that Hopkins loop or Texas tornado with like the loops that the structure for it was made like kind of early in the process, and they had to kind of uh, finagle with it to make the loops work with it. So it has a very distinct look.
yes.
Some other
Engineered
classic
with trial
rides.
and error.
Exactly. Um, Pretty off the wall park to get. Oh, they also have that. I think Mylar Wild Mouse that looks kind of cool. They have some interesting flat rides as well. I'm just because it's not the most recognizable parks. I am probably gonna put this a little lower. Um, I will. I think I'm gonna go 9 for this actually. Not 10 because I kind of want to reserve that for something I either really dislike or really don't have a high opinion of.
Okay,
But I can't put it that high. So that could
okay.
come back to bite me for sure. James mentions hope they build a Star Wars themed speeder bike coaster at Hollywood Studios. I think that would be cool. I don't know how realistic it is, but I'd love to see it.
Ooh,
Dutch Wonderland.
okay.
So that's
I
the next
have been
one.
here. Um, I mean, it keeps winning the Golden Ticket Award for Best Family Park, and I'm like, do they not know that Knoebels exists like in the same state? I thought it was a little pricey for what it was. Um, but uh, I mean, for Dutch Wonderland, I would go. I feel like seven
All right.
because like it's fine, but
Yeah, I have not been, but I mean, you do have that fact that it has been winning as the Golden Ticket Award for Best Family Park. I think again, though, it's
I
kind
didn't
of
see it.
interesting considering what other parks you could go with, and I mean, we're just talking the U.S. I know Golden Tickets are very U.S. centric, but if you were to go outside of that, then I think there'd be a lot of other options there as well. But um, it looks pretty solid, so can't complain with that.
Mhm.
As I'll get the next wheel spin here.
$30 to park there.
Oh my god, that is brutal.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Lake compounds. Alrighty. Um, Interesting. So we're just recently in the last few years, taken up by Hershend. Um, and obviously is home to Boulder Dash, which is one of my top bucket list coasters, but I have not been here, unfortunately. Um, it does seem to have a classic feel from what I could tell. That is pretty cool. Um, and I think that's probably one of like the biggest notes I have on it, just from what I've seen. Um, Besides that, I they have a water park that I think is part of admission, and they have a few other coasters. They got a Skyrocket too. They got Wildcat, which is apparently now actually like okay now, maybe,
Yeah, okay.
um, and a few others there as well. But I think I'm gonna put this at 6. Pretty respectable park, all things considered, but not one that I want to put super high. Just again this early, so yeah, that would be like
Yeah.
compounds.
I I I agree with that. I have been to Lake Compounce, another $30 to park in their parking lot. Their parking lot wasn't even paved, and it was $30 to park in it.
That's rough.
They had, they had like they had one train on everything when I went, uh, and the boomerang was closed. I don't think they let adults ride their kids' coaster, but it was closed anyway. Um, so yeah, I think 6 is about right.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably a good spot. So I did not know about the unpaved parking lot though. That is
Yeah.
actually hopefully with under Hershon they can that can be an infrastructure improvement.
Okay.
um,
That's it.
Ooh, and
Sea
Sea
breeze.
Breeze.
Ooh.
This
Okay.
one has shown up on here. I feel like a few more times than one would expect, but
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, Sea Breeze is on my list to get to this year. One of the many benefits of being a coaster enthusiast here in Maryland is you can just drive to like most of the big parks within a single digit hour drive. So I still haven't been to Seabreeze yet. It's so little and it's so remote, and I've heard it's pretty. Um, so that's I think keep me from going 9 or 10. So I think 8 for Seabreeze.
all right. This park, I've seen like vlogs and some footage of it. It's just kind of one that like kind of for whatever reason of like the lesser talked about U.S. parks, I've always or not always, but I've had an interest towards it. I think I mentioned this one of the last times. Does also seem to have that classic atmosphere, which I do like in
Mhm.
parks. They have two very interesting, I think, credits in Jackrabbit, which um, I forget if they. I think it might be the oldest operating U.S. coaster at this point. It's definitely up there as far as like the oldest ones now, with
Yeah.
Wild One and Leap the Dips currently out of the picture.
Mhm.
So that's kind of neat. Bobsleds is a very kind of odd steel coaster as well. So that those alone are kind of interesting. They have a lot of other classic attractions. So I think that's a fair spot for it. Um, and hope you're able to get out there this year because yeah, it's kind of remote is a good way to put it
Yeah.
as far as its location. So, um, okay,
Ooh.
Michigan's
Oh
Adventure.
boy. Okay.
Let's see.
I haven't been here yet.
So, um, hmm. Wow, this is a really interesting one given where my list is at. Because I'll say straight off the bat, I'm between 5 and 7 for Michigan's Adventure. Um, Obviously, you have Shivering Timbers, which looks absolutely exceptional. One of my top bucket list coasters. I have left the ride in the U.S. Um, it looks like in a lot of ways like Voyage before Voyage existed. in a lot of ways. I feel like so. Um, but so that obviously is intriguing. The park looks nice from what I can tell. I like that it has like the lake in the middle. That seems pretty nice. The rest of the coasters, though, actually I've heard their Wild Mouse is pretty good. But outside of that, it's kind of just there's not a ton of coasters that I think are that interesting. Same honestly, if there's not really a whole lot that stands out to me from their other attractions, but it does seem like a nice enough park. Um, so, but yeah, that is kind of tough. Um, I think I will put it at 5. That could be regrettable,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think I talked myself into it a little bit. So we'll put it at 5.
I think Michigan's Adventure might be one of those parks where it's like if the star attraction is closed for whatever reason,
Oh, then yeah, it's
then
not gonna
I'm
be good.
going home.
Yeah. No, 100%. But honestly, well, okay, Lake Compounds does seem like just kind of overall it has more to work with. But if Boulder Dash was closed, I kind of feel like you're on this not too far off. But
Yeah,
Michigan's Adventure is like I think to a extreme. So you're right there. But
mm,
it's not like it has like an insane amount of like downtime. So I don't think it's a
yeah.
huge issue. If it did, then yeah, we would be having a very different conversation. But um, obviously, though, if you've been unfortunate enough to go when it isn't open, then
Oh
uh,
no,
condolences.
I haven't been to Michigan yet. Um, Alrighty. Let's see
We'll get
what's
the
next.
next one here. Dad has entered the chat. Hello. Um, oh boy. Um,
Oh, okay.
all right. I'm curious where you got this one.
I mean, it's not gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be in one of the bottom two. Uh, I'm cons- I'm worried about putting it at 10 because like I mean, there's some parks that are, you know, regrettably terrible. Uh, or just like don't have a whole lot. Uh, but like I I I went to this park I think twice last year. Um, Mind Blower was another coaster that just gave me a headache in a really weird part of my brain. Like I didn't like it at all. I think 9, just because I mean, they don't have much, but like they're not. It's it's not Disney World. It's a sort of Disney World add-on type place. So that's what they do.
That's fair. I mean, for me personally, I've been here twice. I will just straight up admit, from like the vibes and whatnot,
Mhm.
this is one of my least favorite parks.
Oh,
I'll be now. To be fair, I haven't been to like a crazy amount, and if I went to more, because there are some good attributes. I mean, I personally have been able to enjoy Mind Blower. Some of the go kart tracks are insane. I haven't done the Sky Coaster, but if I did, that definitely would be a help. Um, Hurricane and the spinner I actually think are like pretty fun. Hurricane's really jank though, but like
oh
it
my
kind of
goodness.
works. Um, but just I don't know. Even compared to Orlando, I just feel like that one kind of it feels like it gets more love than this one. Um, but yeah, no, that's completely fair because there's definitely some parks on here that I'm like I could definitely justify having below Kissimmee. So
Oh,
we'll see if any of them show up.
yeah.
Maybe this very next spin that would be great. Um, ooh, that's gonna be a tough one. Okay.
Oh,
Actually, I thought I was gonna land somewhere else,
okay.
but over Texas. Oh man, this is not a good land for me, like at all, because this is where having Hollywood Studios at 3 would have been great. Um,
Yeah.
that's tough. Okay, well, I'm gonna put it at 3.
Okay.
I have been here. I was here for 3 hours.
Oh, me
Due
too.
to layover, but I didn't look at the weather, and it was gonna storm. Well, I knew by the time I was heading to the park, so I hit up most of the major stuff, but I didn't get like the best feel for the park overall. Um, but I from what there were still aspects of it I liked. I think there were certain areas that I think the theming was and the architecture was more interesting than your standard Six Flags. It does have that factor of being the original, which is neat. I think they have a decent amount of quality coasters, even if I don't necessarily think they have a true elite number one as of right now. But they have a pretty like just well-rounded lineup, I would say. From that standpoint, I can't even comment on food because I didn't eat anything there. But overall, like pretty solid to good Six Flags park. And I sure as heck don't want to put it at 7, so it ends up being
Yeah.
3 for me. So,
Yeah, I
um,
agree with what you said. I also went to over Texas for 3 hours last year. Managed to get all the credits, all the available ones. They didn't. I waited for the kids coaster and they didn't let me ride it. I had to take a walk of
that's
shame.
funny. I didn't know they didn't have the rules, so same thing. But like I didn't have to wait long. It was just like the next cycle. But then I was
Yeah,
told I'm like okay.
yeah. So, I think that park has really good bones. Like the theming, like you mentioned. I mean, it could be better, certainly, but like it has a lot of potential. And you can kind of tell it was one of those early, like Disneyland copycat type parks
Yep.
where, they really, there was just some rich guy who was like, I can make one of those too. Um, yeah, so I liked Over Texas. Um,
But
uh,
yeah, just
but
the draw there was kind of tough. Hollywood Studios, I may have disrespected it, but I sure as heck was not putting Over Texas at 7, considering we literally just did a Over Texas 10-year plan stream. So
oh, right, yes, I watched.
that would, and there were. I will just say on that note, I was shocked how much how much pushback there was with Shockwave removing it. I got comments and I got a lot of DMs
Oh,
related to that.
oh my goodness,
So, which is all part of the fun. Like, I mean, I'm happy that people are getting that into it, but
people are
like, it is
upset.
funny. It was funny. So, I'm sorry, I glossed over it. Wild Adventures is the
Wild
park here.
Adventures. Okay, I have been to Wild Adventures. Uh,
Nice.
I mean, yeah, I flew into Atlanta and then just drove 4 hours south on I-75. I mean, ooh, I don't want to do, I don't want to, I don't think it deserves 10, but I don't think it deserves 5 either.
Well,
Uh,
you do got 6. So,
like, I mean, I waited a very long and hot line for their Rapids ride. They only had 3 boats on uh on the course, even though it was 4th of July weekend in humid South Georgia. And like I finally get on the Rapids ride and the water is warm too. Ugh,
that
like,
is the worst surprise.
yes. Um, I'm gonna go 6 for Wild Adventures. Like the SLC was bad, and the I was waiting in line for their Wild Mouse, and it was like I actually looked up to see if it had been relocated because it was tracking so jaggily, and it hadn't been. So,
That's
and then
tough.
I missed their newest coaster last summer, um,
Which I'm guessing is like
the good one,
the
Flying. No, not Flying Fox.
is it? I forget what the name of it is, but I know it's the junior invert. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that.
Um, yeah, I don't remember what it's called. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't
But I know
remember
you're
either.
talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't write it, so.
um, whatever the name of it is.
Mhm.
But I've there's another one. I've seen footage of it. It like generally seems like pretty well kept up. Like it looks pretty nice. They have the animals as well. Like it looks like a solid family park. It's just they haven't really given it much in terms of like just attention with rides, and it's a shame that Cheetah ended up closing and they haven't really done anything there
Yeah,
either. So I don't know if that coaster would have been all that good, but it's still obviously a loss regardless. So
yeah. I just,
um,
I have a hard time seeing like this park getting a bunch of investment because there's nobody lives there.
yep, exactly. So it's kind of tough as far as like, I mean, what exactly are you gonna do with it? But at least, like I said, it does seem like it's generally like pretty well cared for. It like it looks good from what I've seen. So at least there's that. But obviously not going to be
Okay.
something that is crazy high. Hope Tormento doesn't have a rattle. Well, get ready
Oh,
for that thing to be the roughest Giga in the world on opening day.
oh
I will
no.
just say that.
Oh
I
no.
mean, not that that would be saying much, but we'll see. Maybe the wider track gauge, as people have been talking up, will help. And oh boy, all right,
Oh, okay.
okay. Lake Winnie. Fun fact: last time we did this was the last one remaining, and Coaster Josh left his number one open. He had to put it at one. I will not be making that mistake.
Oh,
And
go
although
two.
from what kind of what I'm hearing, I feel like you actually might kind of like it. But I've generally not heard great things about this place, and it's kind of like not a lot of people have been. So I'm actually cool with putting it at 10.
Oh,
Um,
10.
so I will say that I actually ended up passing by this park years ago without realizing we were near the area because I didn't realize it was near Chattanooga, like going back to Atlanta,
Mhm.
until we literally saw a sign for it, and I'm
Oh,
like, well,
okay.
oops.
Oh,
So I do wish I could have went because Cannonball looks fun. They have that like water attraction that's like the only kind of one of its kind in the world, but I've not heard great things otherwise on it, unfortunately. So,
oh.
but your thoughts on Lake
I
Winnie?
thought Lake Winnie was very charming. Um,
Okay.
I, I mean, yeah, it was a cute little park. I thought, um, I rode Cannonball like 4 or 5 times. It was
Nice.
pretty good. I didn't get on the water ride thing because I was kind of running out of time and uh need to get like 10 or 15 rides on Air Force One that day as well. But yeah, I thought it was charming. It would have gone at 5 if I had drawn it.
Okay. All
They
right.
have a
Well, I did.
Larson drop tower, which those things are wild.
That's true. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, no, those are awesome. So I did it at Beach Bend and then Kentucky Kingdom. Had never done it prior, and I'm hooked on those. So
Oh yeah.
that's a good shout out there. Honestly, good to hear some good about it because I feel like almost any time it's ever been on the stream, it's been mostly negative. So I do
Oh,
appreciate hearing
no,
that. So
I enjoyed my time there and would go back.
yeah, and I would like to eventually go at some point, but we'll see. It will be interesting to kind of see under the new operator ship with IB Parks there how that ends up going. Um, what 27 says Hope Cliffs comes up. Well, it is in the wheel, so there's a chance. Not sure that's a very high one, but we've seen call outs happen on this wheel, and then the part gets drawn. So we'll see if it happens here. Um, Six Flags St. Louis.
Ooh. Let's see. This is Six Flags St. Louis would go perfect at like a 7.5 to 8.5. I mean, ugh, I, I, I guess 5. Oh, like I don't feel like it deserves 10, but I'm also afraid that's like something good is going to end up being stuck at number 10. Um,
Yeah, that's completely fair. But clearly, you don't have the highest opinion of this park.
I mean, I haven't been, um,
Oh, okay.
and then like it doesn't like there's there's nothing really drawing me to this park either. Like I rode the other Mr. Freeze in Texas. I've heard the boss is rough and painful. They've got Ninja, which might be the worst coaster of all time. Um, you know, like what I I'm not in a hurry to get there.
That's that's fair, especially although we'll see what this whole situation ends up being with obviously now it being the
Oh
Murray
yeah.
Enchanted Parks mold
Yes.
and now allegedly being like the flagship. I guess I could have brought it up with Michigan's Adventure, but they've specifically hyped up St. Louis, so I'm very curious to see how that goes. And actually, for those who followed me on the Instagram earlier, I will post this, but the article that I put up yesterday on the story turned out that one was BS. I don't know
Oh,
why someone would make a fake article, but I guess they did. um,
you got too much free time.
I'm like, all right, or maybe the information was misleading, but like the CEO posted somewhere like fake news, and there was a separate article that was saying that as far as the DC theming goes, they do have a deal on the table to extend that beyond this year. Whether they take it or not, that's to be determined, but that is something that could happen. Uh,
Mhm.
so wanted to mention that, but I will post it there just to clarify that since I took that down just because when I
Uh,
found that out, I'm like, okay. But RMC the boss, I don't think that's happening, but one can hope.
I
I
mean,
would love to
yeah, we
just see
should.
it get an overhaul in general, but um, like as far like a like Gravity Group or even it hasn't happened for in a while, but like what GCI did with Ghost Rider, I think that'd be great for the
Oh,
boss, but
oh,
I don't think it's very likely. Probably an RMC is more likely than that, honestly. So,
bringing up
um,
Ghost Rider. Oh my goodness.
and then civilian satellite in chat. Hello,
Hello.
but I will do the next spin here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Looks like StreamYard has the new feature where it like, if you highlight a thing, it like kind of like shows that you did. That's weird. Frontier City. Um, so we're getting all the uh, soon to probably be former Six Flags, well, former and some probably soon to be former Six Flags parks. I think this is one of the next ones in that mold. Have not been here again. I do again like just from looking at the footage and everything, the like kind of Western vibe it has. That's a persistent theme throughout the park. Does look pretty neat. Like it's not anything like super crazy, but it does seem to have its charm. Um, it just sucks that one of their headlining coasters is down a lot in Diamondback, so that certainly is something I'm gonna have to factor. And they don't have a ton. So honestly, looking at my list, I'm cool with putting it at 8. So just because I think um, there's definitely parks I could get that are not to the quality of Frontier City at 7, but I feel like with my list, it's kind of a scary spot to be in, so I'd rather put Frontier City a little lower. So I'll put it at 8. And What 27 is going there next month, so hope you have a good time there. But
Oh, okay. I don't know a whole lot about this park. I mean, it's in the middle of the country. It doesn't seem like it's on the way to or from anywhere. Like like maybe if that American Heartland Park or
oh, that's
something
dead.
was happening, maybe I'd go to Frontier City then. Uh,
Yeah, you'd have to like probably if you're from the Dallas area, you could probably hit it on the way to Silver Dollar City. But besides that, and even then, I feel like you're
that
probably
feel
you might be going out of your way. But
yeah. I,
um,
it's not. I'm not in a hurry to get there either. I'll just put it that way.
yeah. Well, same with me because how the heck am I gonna get there? Let's see. It's a
Oh,
cute park. Their coasters are very fun, but they really need something actually anything to stand out. Yeah, I agree. Um, I'm genuinely stunned that they. I mean, as much as I'd hate to see it, I think at some point you have to get rid of Diamondback and use that plot to build something else. I think for that to be one of your headlining attractions, it's just it's not good because it's down so much. So, um, that's my personal thoughts on that. Their log flume's really fun. That's good. And hey, there we go. What 27 says they're hitting it on the way back from Silver Dollar City. So
okay.
exactly. There we go. Um, but yeah, that's going to be Frontier City, and I will spin the next one for you as we are getting to the last bit of our lineup. I feel like I'm
Yes.
in a scary spot because I have 1, 2, and like 7 open. Ooh, and you get Six
Ooh,
Flags Fiesta Texas. That's quite the
okay.
pull at this point.
Yes. Um, I mean, it's one or two, I think.
All right,
Um, I I went to Roller Coaster Rodeo last year. Loved it.
nice.
Uh, already have my ticket for Roller Coaster Rodeo this year. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Just great vibes at this park. It's really well cared for, right? Like you can tell that no, it's run by people who actually like amusement parks rather than people who just like money. Um, it. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for um, rodeo guests, but I mean, they have a nice deep lineup, I thought. So I'm gonna go. I mean, this was the best legacy Six Flags park that I had been to. I just don't know that
It's a tough spot, I will
I'm
say.
I'm going one. Number
Okay.
one. Number one. I I daydream about going back to Fiesta, Texas. Um, it's great. Great setting in the quarry wall. Um, had a wonderful time.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, and that is a good pull. I would have loved that at 1 or 2 right about now, but
Yeah.
we'll see how the wheel fares. Getting closer to that blue moon. Yes, the 2027 coaster here is getting close to being announced. Ah, my gosh. For those who didn't see the wheel right there, right directly underneath Legoland California was Disneyland. Right above it was Cedar
Oh,
Point, and I get Legoland California, which do enjoy. And actually, I'm perfectly fine with putting it at 7. I don't think that's like
okay.
a reach or anything. Um, it just puts me in a horrifying position for like
Oh
the
no.
next few. So
Magic Springs is in the wheel.
yeah, exactly. So, and another park that I would probably guess is on the same level that may or may not be around beyond this year. But um, but yeah, Legoland California. I haven't been since they got Galacticoaster, which that's my new top bucket list coaster I have left to do in California. Not like there was a whole lot else. Like we're probably talking Quicksilver Express at Gilroy Gardens before that,
You
but
haven't been on that?
because it was closed when I went
Oh,
to Gilroy
I rode that
Gardens.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was my bad as far as I should have called ahead of time and not fully relied on the website. Um, so that was kind of tough. And the worst part is it was actually cheaper for me to go that day to get a season pass because it covered parking because that day was like pretty expensive. It was cheaper to do that versus getting parking and a day ticket.
Oh.
And so the hope was, oh well, later in the year I'll just go back and write it. But I wasn't gonna
Hmm.
go all out of my way, like drive the 2.5 hours to get it. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, and then every other time of year I went to the Bay Area where I was like kind of on the way. It was on days it was closed.
Oh my goodness.
So I never could find a way to justify it, unfortunately. But
Oh, okay.
sorry, off topic. Anyways, back to
Hmm.
Legoland California. Yeah, I mean, like the theming of these places, I think it has a level of charm. They have a pretty nice dark ride lineup, although I definitely need to get a lot of rerides there. But got Ninjago, the Egypt shooting dark ride. I know they also have a submarine ride as well that I haven't done. That they opened that since I last went.
Oh,
Um, it overall like very enjoyable park. Obviously more family oriented, but I think outside of the crazy price tag for it, I think it does what it sets out to do. So that's the only thing. That's probably the other reason I also haven't been recently is it's a lot. So
hmm.
yeah, but let's
Uh,
see next. RO. Okay, Nickelodeon
Oh,
Universe Mall of
okay,
America.
okay. I
Um,
was I was I was kind of hoping it would be New Jersey, so I could just 10 right away. Uh, Mall of America, though, I enjoyed my visit here. Um, they didn't sort of, at least like in New Jersey, rip you off and then, oh, by the way, half the stuff is closed. Um,
yeah.
I mean, nothing really stood out, I guess, but like in a good and bad way. Like there wasn't anything terrible. Um, there wasn't anything like super great. I mean, it's only so much you can do uh, in an amusement park in a shopping mall. Um, I'll go three.
That's with your lineup. That's what I would have went with, to be
Yeah,
honest. So, um, haven't gotten out here as well.
right by
I'm
the airport.
well, I haven't been in Minneapolis, so that's the issue. So, that and I haven't even been there for like a layover or anything. So it's kind of like, yeah, there hasn't really been a reason for me
Mhm.
yet. But um, I mean, the log flume, people have hyped that up, so I want to check that out, of course.
That was fun.
For being a park in a mall, I think they have some intriguing coasters. I know SpongeBob Rock Bottom Plunge, the way it tracks, and not everyone's the biggest fan of it, but it's still a Eurofighter.
Mhm.
Um, and as someone who likes Jaguar probably more than other people do at Knott's Berry Farm, I am intrigued in their Tivoli.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I did ride that. That was that was really good, actually.
yeah,
Just
no,
just
I've
going around and around and around. There's so much stuff to look at. I think I rode again.
I
Like,
depending on how
ooh.
the Eurofighter tracks and how good that is, I wouldn't even be absolutely stunned if that was my favorite coaster there. But um, no, it looks pretty cool as far as it being inside of the Mall of America. Interesting history as well with it having gone through the Snoopy theming and now Nickelodeon. So yeah, no, that's a pretty good spot, I think.
I
Um,
found the Metropolitan Stadium home plate in there.
nice.
Um,
Okay, thank God. I
ooh,
can work with that. It's not like amazing, but it
no.
is I can't put it at 1 because that is just way too risky. But at 2, like at least from a coaster lineup standpoint, um maybe not as well rounded as like over Texas, but the top 2 you can't argue with Wicked Cyclone and Superman the Ride being like a great top 2. So there's you got that. Um there is some kind of I feel like interesting stuff with it being formerly Riverside. Although I can't really speak on the atmosphere of it, but it seems like there might be some interesting stuff there. Quantum Accelerator actually looks pretty fun. That just opened. Thunderbolt looks all right. They have a decent amount of other coasters that like seem solid as well, but um, not a bad pull for 2, honestly, at this point. Uh, uh, this deep into things,
I
so.
mean, yeah, I mean, Six Flags New England is another one of those parks to me. Some people might get upset, but to me, uh, it's one of those parks where if the headlining attraction is closed, then I'm going home. And one of the last times I was at Six Flags New England, I was there on a Sunday and had to work on Monday, and sure enough, Superman is closed,
Oh.
and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, right? It's like it's not the most convenient place. So I went and rode everything else, and was waiting around, and so Superman did open at like 4:30 in the afternoon,
Wow.
and I got one ride on it, and it was amazing. I love it. Uh, and then had to like run to my car and zoom down I-95 to get to work. To get home to go to work the next morning. But uh, it's I feel like Six Flags New England, it doesn't deserve to have Superman the ride. Like it's not like Superman's an elite coaster, but it's not an elite park, if
Yeah.
you get what I mean.
No, that's fair, and that honestly is not too far off from what I've heard. So, um, and then unfortunately, yeah, I guess they don't really have much of the Riverside left. So that honestly kind of unfortunate given the history there, but um, from civilian satellite. So this is my number one. This is
Oh,
probably going to be the worst thing yet.
I thought I was picking.
Oh wait, or oh wait, no, sorry, you are. Thank God.
Oh, okay.
I just realized no, because I just had New England. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
No, it's yours. I was about to say there's no way. So
Yeah.
if you didn't see it, it was Rye Playland.
Rye Playland. I have been here as well. It's got to go 10. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, well, maybe it is the worst park out of these 9 on my list, but like, I rode Dragon Coaster and it was fine. I rode the Wild Mouse and it was a wild mouse. The other stuff was closed. The Zamperla Volaire was closed, probably mercifully. Um, they don't let adults ride that kiddie coaster they have up there. I think it
Yeah.
was also closed, if I
Wow.
remember correctly.
And you
Uh,
visited when?
this was in June of 2023.
Mm.
Oddly enough, I was on my way to a wedding, uh, and I went to Rye Playland and Legoland, New York, on my way to a wedding that day,
Wow.
because I'm a crazy person. Yeah, it's okay. Um, it's nothing special. Hopefully, they can get all the legal stuff worked out, and they can actually
Mm.
function as a park. Um, rather than whatever whatever they got going on up there. Uh,
Yeah. No, as civilian satellite mentions,
a
it's a
little
park that
pricey.
should be great, but they need a lot of help. And I know, I believe based on the timeline, I assume probably Standard Amusements was the operator for Rye Playland probably when you went, and that whole situation was ended in ugly fashion last year where I think like opted out of like operating like kind of last second, and they had to like scramble around. So um, yeah, definitely has fallen on some hard times and difficulties for sure. So hopefully they can get what they need. Um, has now this is my number one.
Hmm.
Um, surely we can do better than Right Playland, right? Oh man. I mean, yeah, but like yikes.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
jeez, that's rough. It's not the worst number one. I feel like. Well, actually, depending on I guess your opinion on Lake Winnie, but I mean it's right up there. I can't. Look, it's a solid park. I just went actually earlier this year. For the first time as an enthusiast.
Uh,
Um, I love Canyon Blaster. I think El Loco is also like pretty good, but Canyon Blaster is my favorite coaster there. Uh, actually, those were the only two rides I rode. I just got rewrites on those two. Um,
don't you have
so
to pay full price just to get in the door?
oh, okay. Here's the thing though. They had they had a half off deal, so it was 30 rather than $60.
Oh, okay.
So it was at least there was that. Granted, I still paid 60 because I paid for myself and my brother, but
Oh,
at least I wasn't paying 120. So
oh, oh,
um,
oh.
yeah, but like I like kind of the pink hue as well that is like inside like it's kind of got its quirks also like when it's like more busy and like they have like the like it has like kind of a distinct smell I guess although I didn't really notice that the last
A
time I was
distinct
there.
smell.
Yeah.
That can't possibly be a good thing unless it smells like chocolate chip cookies, like in front of
uh,
Incredicoaster. There's
It's like
a
I'd almost
distinct
describe
smell.
it kind of, at least from what I recall when I was like 10 or whatever. It was like kind of popcorn esque. I don't really know how to say. Yeah, well, Vegas you could argue in general, but I would say Adventure Dome is distinct from that.
Okay.
Um, I forget what stream it was. Someone asked about which park has like the most like memorable smell, and I had a Mark on, and I was like, oh, actually, Adventure Dome. He also agreed.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting. I haven't been there. Uh,
so yeah, and Civilian Satellite even says I'm not wrong, can't describe it, but it smells like 1993 in there.
oh,
So yeah, it does have that going for it. Unfortunately, that's well, if you can even say it's going for it. But that's
how's
kind of
that
a tough
going?
number one. Um, yeah, that's rough. So I think you're probably gonna win this, even if you get something bad at two. The fact that you have a one that's good is gonna do a lot of the heavy lifting. The fact that my one's bad is probably killer.
Oh,
And of course, you're gonna get something quite
oh,
good in Six
okay.
Flags
The
Magic
second best Six
Mountain.
Flags. I
Funny how
think.
that works out. So, well,
I
you
mean,
have to put it at two, but
yeah. Oh my goodness. Magic Mountain is incredible. Uh, just go if you haven't already. Um, I mean, I love X2 so much. The first time I went to Magic Mountain, they had the music and the fire was working. Like, oh my god.
yeah,
Uh,
that's when that's it's at its best.
uh, like the music and the fire, and it was at nighttime. I I I almost went crazy. Like it was so good. Let's see, I love Tatsu. Um, it's I played not played but play a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that park is in there. So it's iconic for me in that regard. Uh, yeah, just got to go to Magic Mountain. Um, it's I think it worked out pretty good. I might look at my lists and maybe shake things up a little bit, but uh, overall, I feel like I did all right.
No, this is pretty good. All things, especially you had like a, I think, really kind of weird lineup. So I actually think this works out pretty well. I actually already started poll in the chat here. I mean,
Oh,
I think all the votes of those theoretically watching are in, and you have all of them. So
oh, okay.
we'll also do this on Instagram as well. But I have a feeling you're gonna crush me on there because I don't think this is a contest. To be
I mean,
completely honest.
you've got a Disney park behind two Six Flags parks.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Um, I think I'm. It's interesting. I think I'm a little lower on Hollywood Studios, but I mean, I wouldn't have it below. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have it below over Texas. I would not have it under Adventure Dome. Haven't been to New England, but I would be pretty shocked
Yeah.
if I had it underneath that. So, um, yeah, and Civilian Satellite. This is, I think, one of the best ones we've had, like legitimately, because it kind of, I think, just kind of depending on what you think of. I think Legoland Florida, because
Mhm.
otherwise, I think this is like pretty dead on. I feel like for what you would do, like. Civilian Satellite is saying like this is one of the most accurate ones, and I would think I'd have to agree. So,
Oh, well, thank you.
um,
You know, I didn't put all these miles on my car for nothing. I guess it paid off a little bit. Um,
yeah. So Evan, you are the winner of the blind ranking. Congratulations. Despite being the host of the series, that now makes me 3-5 all
three
time,
and
which
five.
is funny. I mean, I'd rather I'd be on the losing side of it, to be honest, because so I don't have the like rigging allegations as
Get
the
accused
host.
of cheating.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the blind ranking, and that'll actually take us to the South Atlantic Coaster Draft. So to
Alrighty.
explain this, the headlining segment for today. If you don't know, so the South Atlantic region that we're drafting these coasters from, the states included are the ones listed here. Obviously, some of them don't really have much, if anything. But any coaster that is currently operating in Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Maryland, North Carolina, like, well, we'll just say the Carolinas and the Virginias, they are all eligible. This will be a snake format, so if you've done a fantasy sports draft, you're probably familiar with that. So whoever has the second pick in this, for example, will have back to back picks once it's their turn, and kind of like if you don't understand yet, you'll kind of see. Coin flip will determine the order. We're gonna do 20 coasters for our each of our
Hmm.
lineups, so quite a bit.
Yes.
There is no categories for this, so you can just do
Hmm.
whatever.
Okay.
Unlike some of the previous ones, the more recent ones, we've taken this approach.
Hmm.
Um, Only things that are like notable here, doing coasters count as a single slot, so like Stardust Racers, you're not getting like green, you don't have to pick green side, and like
Yeah.
none of that BS, so you just get it in the one slot. And then if a coaster is themed or has a unique setting, just assume it will retain its theming for the draft. And the winner is decided by you. Most votes towards the park lineup. Again, we'll also do this on Instagram after streams end. So that is pretty much the background on the
Hmm.
draft. And I will pull up the coin flip here. Since you are the guest, I will give you the option of heads or tails.
I mean, I guess I can't defer my pick to the second half. I'll go, I guess, heads. Uh, yeah.
Alrighty. So the call is heads. It is tails, so I
Oh,
do have the choice of if I want to go first or second. I will be going second.
oh
So
my
you
goodness.
will have the first pick. And
Okay.
actually, I need to do a quick flip here just to reflect that. I think we got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I
And
I
then.
mean, I've as I was preparing this the other day, I got my draft board in this notebook here, and it's a pretty obvious top three, I thought. So like with the snake format, whoever picks first, like, they get the best one, but then, you know, the next two go to the other person. Oh boy, I would have liked to pick second, but number one on my board is Velocicoaster. Um,
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right.
Oh, I got, I think, like 16 rides on it back in the fall. Just incredible. Like it's I moved it up from, I think, four to number two. It's flirting with the number one spot. Uh, like, just amazing.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were potentially gonna go in, I would say, two other directions
Two other
besides that.
directions. Oh,
So I'll admit that one is a bit of a surprise for me. Not
oh,
it makes sense actually. No, I'm in fact that would have been one of the top two I'd consider
okay.
for that spot. So I definitely think it's like bang on for that. I will admit I was a little surprised. Delaware carrying the group, yeah, totally.
Yes. Poor Delaware, right?
Oh
Like,
man.
yeah, poor Delaware. I mean, if Delaware had a coaster, I would have ridden it by now. So they should get one at like Funland at Rehoboth or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have back to back picks.
Yes.
One of them I'm locking in. Like I know I want Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa, so that's the one I'm taking with my first pick. As for the second, I do have some decision making to make here. There is,
Oh,
oh boy, this is tough. I I'm gonna take Stardust
oh,
at two.
okay.
That's gonna be my pick. So,
Yeah.
and I have green and yellow too there to
Okay.
signify that. So those are my two picks. You have next two.
Yes. I mean, these were the three I was talking about. Like, these were the obvious three to me. Stardust was number two on my board, and then Iron Gwazi I have third. I'm gonna go down to number five. Airy Force One
Okay.
uh be next for me. Um, like, if you like airtime that feels like you're gonna rip you in half, and then you can just go ride again, and then ride 20 more times after that, and then just hop on your flight home right up the street. then Air Force One is for you. Oh my goodness, so good, so good, so good, so good. And in just a really weird park
Yeah.
situation. Like I lived in Atlanta for 13 years. I'd never heard of this park until they announced Air Force One. I didn't even know it was there. I'd probably driven by it. Uh,
It's
okay.
gone under a few different names, so and
Yeah.
I mean it was basically an FEC up until they just threw. Well, I guess they added in Hurricane how like a little bit before that, so it was like okay, that's something, and they just threw Air Force One, and it was like okay.
Yeah. Just throw in a world class coaster. Um, yeah. One of the few places in Atlanta you can get a Pepsi as well. Nothing like a cold Pepsi. Just let's see. And then next, oh, I mean, I guess I have to be careful because there's some super fans of this coaster. Um, I'm gonna go Pantherian.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Okay.
it's not super high on my personal rankings, but it's super high on seems like everybody else's. Um, I mean, so I've got you know in my park I have ferocious airtime and ferocious positives. Uh, so just if you don't like one, you can have the other one.
There you go. I mean, those are two excellent picks. Those were the next two on my board, like
Yeah.
straight up. I will just say so.
Yeah.
Um, but I do have now back-to-back picks. Um, I will take. I mean, one of them I got to take Fury at this point.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that one, that's just for me. That is like I think pretty clearly looking at the rest of the board. That's like my next one, and I wouldn't really have it. I don't think there's much else that's close. As
Really?
at
Oh,
least, I mean, granted, I haven't ridden it, but
why just it's my number one coaster, man. You have to
I
ride
thought you were gonna
Fury.
pick it one, so I was like shocked
No.
you didn't. But I mean, at this point, I'm gonna take it because
Yeah.
with what's left, like, yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. It actually fell to pick number 6,
Hmm.
and a good use of a third round pick. This was not like a Carson Beck pick, so,
Oh.
um,
Oh.
but
Did the Falcons didn't pick him, right? Who
no, no,
picked
no,
him?
no, that was the Cardinals. Don't worry, don't worry.
Okay.
We
Carson
got
Beck. He
we
can't play.
got
He's terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, next one. Oh, this is tricky. I almost feel like at this point I almost sort of get into like stuff I like, but I think there's another coaster that just kind of looking at the rest, it stands out, and that's
Hmm.
going to be Twisted Timbers.
Oh,
So I will take that for now. So Fury 325 and Twisted Timbers are my two picks. So
interesting.
have not ridden actually literally any of the coasters I've drafted up to this point.
Just come on. You have.
But
I thought you went to BGT already.
no, I've been to
No.
Florida twice, but I haven't been able to get out there. And on Epic, I haven't been since it opened.
Yeah.
And then the other two, I mean, I haven't been near Kings Dominion and Carowinds. I was in the airport for a short layover many years ago, but not long enough to go to Carowinds. So
This is why you should move to Maryland.
yeah,
You can, you can drive to Carowinds. I got up at 2 in the morning on opening day on March 14th. Just drove to Carowinds.
nah, I can take the 2 to 3 day drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Just drive all
But
weekend. I mean, Fury's my number
or
one
well, longer than
coaster.
that, but yeah.
A little longer. Yeah, Fury's my number one coaster, but I have it ranked 10th for this exercise. And Twisted Timbers, I mean, it's great and all, but it's a little. Um, okay. I didn't think these two were coming back to me. I'm gonna go after Pantherian. I'm gonna go Pantheon.
Yep, it's a great pick.
Oh, so good. Hopefully next time I go, they have two trains instead of one. It's a little finicky as well, but like that the the backwards ejector airtime is wild.
Yeah, that seems like unbelievable. So,
Yeah, yeah, wild. And then, ooh, I think, I mean, I'm just gonna go across the park, and get the best invert.
oh,
I think anyway, an Alpengeist.
okay, all right.
I was at Busch Gardens on a Sunday, I think toward the end of March, and like not only was Alpengeist a walk on, but it was a stay on, and it
Hmm.
was hauling. It was incredible. Like the Cobra roll in the back row, just like I was uh, giggling and shrieking and stuff. As a just wow. So I am happy with those.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And yeah, Alpengeist. There's a few coasters that you don't hear too many coasters where people rave about the Cobra Roll, but that is absolutely one of them. So,
Yeah.
um, I'd love that getting a shout out here. Next, I'm at least bringing in one coaster that I've ridden,
Okay.
and that's going to be Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. My
Yeah.
personal B&M favorite B&M hyper. Close between this and another one that's here, but
Hmm.
um, I have a slight preference for Goliath because I just think the layout's a little more unique. I love the helix that's super intense, and I feel the airtime stronger, so it's a little more up my alley. But
Hmm.
both are great and could have been worthy choices here. My other one, I this could be technically a reach. But the thing is, I kind of have no idea where you have this on your board, and
Hmm.
this is a coaster that for me, like I love it too much. I can't risk it being gone, so I probably could get away with waiting maybe another round, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna take Cosmic Rewind here, which is in my top 10. So
Okay.
um, those are gonna be my two selections.
All right. I like to state for the record, I did predict you were going to pick Guardians there. I haven't ridden it, but apparently it's great. And then, I mean, Goliath at Over Georgia, like that's the coaster that made me an enthusiast. Uh, like when I was in college, we would we were over there all the time, um, and we would just ride Goliath over and over and over and over and over. Um, the airtime hills to close are it's developing a sort of a janky quality that I kind of appreciate, honestly. Like it was it's sort of like the Magnum Hills a little bit, uh like as it's aged. And then the paint has grown on me as well.
The
uh
new color scheme.
yeah,
Yeah,
I miss the orange, but uh the green or teal is fine.
yeah.
Let's see. You
I
could
think ever since I've seen like the pictures of it fully done, I've been more on board with it. Um, so, and having Goliath at home, I was kind of like, yeah, I think I actually appreciate this being like a different color than that one. So,
uh, uh,
which thank God finally ours got a repaint. So,
uh,
way too long overdue, and not, but anyways, your next two picks.
my next two. Let's see. I'm gonna go
Chat
with
is not a fan of the Goliath over Mako pick, by the way, or
oh,
Alvin guys over Mako. Although I probably
okay.
shouldn't have said that because that might influence, but whatever.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not going to influence what I was going to pick because I'm going to pick Mako.
Yeah,
My favorite B&M hypercoaster that I've been on. Um, I was at SeaWorld on my birthday uh, back in the fall. 16 rides on Mako.
nice.
Just
That's awesome.
incredible. Incredible. Like what? what else do you need after that? Like, I feel like Mako has ruined Nitro for me. Like, I rode Nitro, I guess a month and a half ago now. It's just uh, like it's not quite, you know, like Mako's amazing. It made my top 10, like
Wow.
overall. Um, I love Mako. And then let's see. I want to have a deep and varied lineup here. Um, and we got to bring in the crowds, and nothing brings in the crowds like the 10-hour lines that this coaster was getting. So I'm gonna go
Oh.
Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. And honestly, I just was hoping you would have to type in that whole thing. So
Well, no, I already got that covered. So
uh, yeah, um,
thankfully.
it's got everything. I was disappointed that Dueling Dragons closed, um, but Hagrid's I feel like is a worthy successor. Um, it's got theming, it's got the launches. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love Hagrid's.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was very curious to see where you were gonna pick this because
mhm.
I this was one that I probably was gonna pick it a little earlier if it was still around than I would have liked, but I was not even thinking about it here. But it definitely makes sense just because from the well-rounded standpoint.
Yeah,
Although that's part of the other reason I different ride, but I kind of grabbed Cosmic for that reason. I wanted one of these
yeah.
that isn't like that is like more family thrill. So
Hmm.
um, and what 27 shout out has completed the entire train on Mako. That is impressive.
Like ridden
But
in
well,
every seat.
yeah, I assume that's what that
Wow.
means.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Um,
Mhm.
Funnily enough, I've gotten more night rides than day rides on Mako by like
Oh,
quite a bit. I think I only have one day ride on Mako and a
wow.
bunch of night rides. So
I've only been to SeaWorld in like the sort of off season, so like they closed at like 6 or something. Uh, it wasn't quite dark yet.
I've only been during the Hallow Scream and the Christmas event.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah. Um, Hallow Scream, it actually didn't have that long of a wait, weirdly enough, which was kind of interesting. But it was kind of a weekday, so that probably was why. The other times it wasn't crazy, but it wasn't the same as like you could just lap it over and over. Um,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
anyways, let's see. So my next two, um, this is the point where it gets interesting because I feel like this is kind of the point where I almost go very much on my board compared to what I put the consensus was. But
Oh,
I won't go too far here. Um, I will, and I'm just gonna look and see if there's anything I'm like blatantly missing. Ooh, actually, there's decisions to be made.
hmm.
But okay, I first one I will take is going to be Copperhead Strike, Carowinds.
Oh, okay.
Um, and then the next one I'm gonna take, it's really between two. Um, I I'll all right. I'll take. Actually, this is a very tricky pick, but I will still do it. I'm gonna take Montu here at Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Oh, okay.
So, um, I was questioning if I should since you already have an invert, but I wasn't sure
Mhm.
if that was gonna stop you. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take it because I do really want Montu. Unfortunately, two more coasters I have not ridden, but I mean Montu is one that's pretty high on my bucket list. Um, and Copperhead Strike, I think it's like uh, it's not like super intense, so I like that about it too. Just from what I've heard,
Mhm.
I think it's like a good kind of all-around coaster. Has some nice inversions, airtime. Obviously, the launches aren't the strongest, but I mean, it does have launches, so I think it's
Mhm.
a good fit.
Yeah, Copperhead is a fun ride. I think it's underrated. I feel like people complain about it more than they should. Um, the hang time is an interesting sensation. And I saw somebody lose their phone in rather hilarious fashion, to be honest, because we were in like the cutback, I think, and like somebody's phone fell out, and like they just had to watch helplessly as it fell to the ground and smashed in a million pieces. Uh, because we were hanging upside down and they didn't secure their phone.
I'm
And then
amazed it
Montu,
survived the JoJo roll then, but
I that probably loosened it up.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. And then Montu's just great. The banana yellow supports have even grown on me. I didn't really love those initially. That Batwing is crazy. And I love how it dives in and out of the trenches. Uh,
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
yeah, I tried to recreate that in Roller Coaster Tycoon. It doesn't, I haven't really perfected. Um,
That'd be a interesting project to do there,
Montu,
but
Copperhead. All
go ahead
right.
and you're next too.
Ooh. Um, it is tricky. Oh, Montu was one of the next up on my list here. Um, ooh, you know, I'm just like I have to pick the stuff that's true to me at this point because,
That's fair.
like I feel like I thought some things were going to be higher sought after. So like number 8 on my board, I'm going to go with this one. Batman the Ride at Six Flags Over Georgia.
I did have that actually not too far off from here, but I'm like, and that's a great pick. It is my number one invert currently. I just was like, I didn't want to pick it for this. At least it's like my like, but you have two inverts, so I actually love that.
Yeah.
For your lineup.
Mhm. Yeah, just, I'll take a big invert and a little invert, uh, both powerhouses in their own way. I
Yeah.
think I've ridden 7 Batman clones now. Um, this one is by far the best one. Like it's not particularly close. Like a lot
Yeah.
of other ones are pretty similar. This one is insane. I don't know what they did to it, uh, but incredible. And then, ooh, uh, see, just hmm, I I guess I'm gonna I'll go Hulk here.
Oh my god. Yep, that was.
Little
I
enthusiasm.
was deciding between that and Montu. I was like hoping. I'm like, yes, maybe it's gonna actually make it, and no, it didn't. That's an awesome pick.
Yeah, I will, try not to fry the electrical power grid of the whole city in this park. But Hulk, I mean, it's just iconic, right? Like in addition to being intense, it's iconic. It's got music on there. Since they did I rode new and old Hulk,
Oh,
um,
okay, that's cool.
and like the, I mean, I think they fixed the music in the sense that it's louder during the sort of regular ride course, but then on the brake run, it's not blaring right in your ear. And it's, I guess, a little smoother, not as headbangy. I mean, just got to go with Hulk here. I had it at 15 overall, and Batman I had that at 8 overall on this list. Um, so I'm interested to see where you go next
As am I.
as
Um,
it's unfolding.
Actually, there's one that I think is a pretty clear pick for me. By the
Okay.
way, both those rides love them. Hulk was 13 on my list.
Okay.
I actually had it above Montu. I haven't written Montu, so that very much obviously could change when I write it. But I just felt like that was I was willing to make the gamble that maybe Hulk would be there. I wasn't as certain on Montu, like I said, even though he had one invert.
Hmm.
Um, but and Batman's also awesome. I definitely agree with you saying it runs the best of the inverts the Batman clones you've done. I definitely agree. I've only done 3, but it's funny because Over Texas I feel like is like definitely like it runs the worst out of all of them for the 3 for whatever reason.
Oh,
Magic Mountain is like it
I
is.
thought Magic Mountain was the worst one. Like
Oh really? That's interesting.
I, I, fe- I felt nothing.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
I'm just, maybe it's just because it's at Magic Mountain and it gets overshadowed by, the other 45 coasters I have over there. But like, it's I was underwhelmed by comparison.
Interesting. Okay, but I have Magic Mountain. That one's like pretty good, but it's not too like and an Overgeorge is just kind of a different beast. So,
That's
um,
yeah.
but anyways, the next coaster I'm bringing in, Manta at SeaWorld Orlando. Absolutely love
Oh,
this ride. Um,
okay.
I think it's I do have Tatsu above Manta, but I will say I think it actually is more consistently intense.
Hmm.
And I may even like prefer the layout, like just its consistency over Tatsu, but I just I love the terrain usage of Tatsu. And the pretzel loop I think is just kind of next level on that. So I still have it higher, but um, yeah, I was very impressed with Manta on my few rides I've ever had on this. The only thing also that kind of sucks is I've only ever had night rides on this, which I'm kind of sucks for a flying coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of cool in a way, but like I feel like I'm not even getting like the full spectacle of it. But I was even with that, I was still super impressed. Maybe that's also partially why I found it to be like surprisingly intense. Was it was dark and you're in the flying position anyway, so it's kind of harder to tell where you're going, and that would definitely help. So that one is a that one was a layup there for me. The other one now, this is where it gets difficult because it's like, do I go based on just what I like kind of have on my board, or like it's difficult. Um, and then how far do I go with it? um, I'm gonna take one of the ones that I yeah, actually, yeah, this I don't think it's egregious. One
Okay.
of my coasters that like it's a reach. I think
Hmm.
based on like where it's at, but I and it's not probably that much of a risk to be taken soon. But I Revenge of the Mummy at Studios Florida,
Oh.
absolutely love this thing. Um,
Oh.
the
Okay.
airtime I think is shockingly strong, especially if you're able to get this thing like I guess in the morning it has like kind of boost mode. If the trains aren't full and whatnot, I've been able to get that, so it was especially sick then. But love the theming with it. Shocking airtime, I think. Overall, great ride, and it's kind of on that family thrill level too. So I think that's one of the better it gets. I think as far as those go. So gonna go with Mummy here.
Ah. Okay. That's I did not expect Mummy there. You know, maybe I haven't had my coffee yet, but uh, yeah, I think Mummy's a good ride. It's a great theme and stuff. And then you also picked Manta.
Yeah.
I've only ridden this during the day. And then my first ride on it, we got sort of duel, I guess, with the Penguin Trek train, um,
That's
which
cool.
was kind of insane, right? Like there's a
Yeah, that is
Penguin Trek
awesome.
has a hill sort of right under the first drop of Manta. Um, so Manta's I think my second favorite at SeaWorld. Um,
It is for me, and like easily.
yeah. Um, is there any chance a coaster from Maryland gets picked on here?
I, I I'm gonna be honest. I have like about 55 coasters that I consider draftable.
Hmm.
There, I don't have any from Maryland. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest.
okay. I mean, I don't either. Uh, you know, yeah, I don't either. Let's see. So for my two picks, I this is, I mean, you can't win the draft, but you can lose it in this spot. Um, hopefully, some people who've been to King's Dominion recently will know that Grizzly has undergone a huge glow up. Um, and I think is the best wood coaster in this region,
Oh.
or like in the uh, choosable area. Oh my goodness, it is so smooth now. Like it was so terrible before, but it's so good now. Uh, I mean, might be the best coaster at King's Dominion. Um,
Wow. All right.
like, uh, got some night rides on it last year. Insane, just insane. Like I know you love the Beast,
Yeah. No.
especially at
There
night.
there's some intrigue there
Yeah,
for me.
it's like that.
Okay.
Uh, maybe about a quarter as long as the Beast, but it's incredible. So I went Grizzly, and then let's see. I, mm,
Dang, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was. I had it like kind of on the edge of like the ones, but like there's a bunch that I have as like kind of sleepers toward the end, depending on what happens, and that was one
mhm.
of them. So
Oh, yeah, no, Grizzly is amazing, and like most people haven't caught on yet, as well.
that's
Like
true.
it's always a station way. You just go again and again and again.
That is
Uh,
the first wooden coaster to make the list. You're right.
yeah.
Well, it goes back to what you were saying about it being like, in your opinion, the best in the region.
What you'd rather ride Mind Blower or Hurler or something?
Well, I think my blower is actually pretty good, but
Oh, wasn't a fan. Uh, wasn't a fan. Uh, you can ride yeah, well, yeah, Hurler or Invader, right? Like that. I think Invader has square wheels. Like it keeps moving down.
that's
Let's
tough.
see. Yeah. I am on the clock again. Ooh. I, you know, this again. This is picking with my heart here. Uh, I think now this isn't going to be reflected in the polling. My opinion, necessarily. I think the best coaster in the state of Virginia is Griffin.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, I
I think
love,
based on consensus, the range is right here, so
yeah,
I will give you that.
like,
I'm gonna admit, like the B&M dives, I've said
yeah,
that I'm not the biggest fan, so those were a decent
yeah,
pick down the board, but
this is the best one.
okay.
I think by far. Like, of all, not even just I think there's only two dive coasters in this region, but like of all the dive coasters I've done, like Valraven, uh, I think Emperor, um, certainly, certainly better than Iron Menace. Yikes. I love Griffin so much. It's just so floaty and graceful, and it has over the shoulder restraints. Um, you can really get that air time. Um, I think I got 17 rides on it, like the same day that Alpengeist was a walk on and a stay on.
Nice.
Like Griffin, just incredible. I can't. If you had picked Griffin, I would have been upset. I think I would have.
I think if it got to a certain point, I would have, but it was not one that I was thinking of taking in the previous round, and probably not this next one. Although
Mhm.
I like I have a board, but I'm doing this basically on the fly still. So,
Oh,
um, but I need to circle back to comments here because some have come in.
oh, right.
Uh, for Vince, yeah, Evan, you just need a Flight of the Hippogriff and Pteranodon Flyers. Then you'll have all the islands coasters.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of that.
Hope Brennan gets his coffee and Mummy 4. There's a perfectly good Pinfari Cyclone loop in Maryland that's ripe for the taking.
Oh, oh no,
Um, and
no.
Alabama is not South Atlantic, so unfortunately, none of us can snipe Rampage. Although
Is it
that thing has been
operating?
SV. Yeah, I don't even know if it would have been eligible to be honest. Whatever the heck's going on there.
Hmm.
They said that it would be open this year, but I'm like I need a little more than you just saying that.
They also said that Mattel Adventure Park would be open by the Super Bowl, like 3 Super Bowls ago now.
I genuinely question if that's ever opening. Like I'm being dead serious,
Why did they build
unfortunately.
it then?
I
It's
I have no idea what's going on there, but
yeah.
like there has been like no almost next to no activity for like a year. So, um I don't know, weird stuff going on there.
Okay.
Um anyways, I have the next two picks here. Man, yeah, I see what you mean because it's thinned out.
Hmm.
As far as you know, at this point, this is overkill. I enjoy it. This is too good of a value for me to pass up on. I will take Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags over Georgia. I probably
Oh.
could have waited, but it was still there. So,
Mhm.
but I am now 3 RMCs deep. I think varied enough. I mean, Iron Gwazi is definitely different enough from these other two. You could probably argue between like having both Twisted Timbers and Twisted Cyclone, but too good of value for me personally to pass up.
Okay.
The next one though, um, am I just in the business of taking good coasters and I will just figure out the rest later? I might be. Um,
Gotta go best player available.
there's one I have higher on the board, but I think I can wait on it. So I'm going to take Afterburn at Carowinds, double
Ooh.
dipping on the B&M inverts. I think
Ooh.
looking at the rest of it, this was a pretty good. The quality of it, I was. It's hard for me to pass up on. So
Okay. I do love Afterburn. Always a great ride. Always. Um, and then Twisted Cyclone. That was my first RMC. Um, my like pre-enthusiast days.
nice.
Blown away. I'm like, because I was kind of sad that Georgia Cyclone closed. I was one of the few fans of that coaster. Um, and then they twisted it, and I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. Um, just could I missed that third lap around the circuit though.
Yeah, it is tough that it isn't a longer ride.
Yeah.
But hey, good to hear some Georgia Cyclone love. And it's cool that that was your first RMC as well. I have a similar kind of. It wasn't my first RMC, but I have a similar thing with Roar. When they announced that was closing, I was like, at Discovery Kingdom, not the
Oh
America
yeah.
one.
Oh.
um, the I actually thought that one was pretty solid, but I mean Joker's
Hmm.
just so much better. So, um, but uh,
Roar at Six Flags America was awful. I
yeah,
thought.
I've heard that. So, uh, civilian satellite is not as high on Georgia Cyclone though,
Oh.
as we can see here. So,
Oh.
um,
I mean, yeah. Thing is, when Georgia Cyclone was open, like, they also had Ninja and Great American Scream Machine, like pre all of its track work. So, like by comparison, though, like those other two would beat you up worse.
yeah.
Uh, let's see. I had Afterburn at 16 on my sheet here. Um, Let me see. Uh, ooh, mm, I think I'm going back to Florida. And gonna go Hiccup Swing Gliders.
Okay.
I didn't think this would be as good as it was. I only got to ride once, waited like, I don't know, 40 minutes or something. It was during kind of a cold day, but it was really fun. I've never seen any of the How to Train Your Dragon movies,
Oh
but
wow.
if I've like people who really love How to Train Your Dragon, I've heard they've been like moved to tears by going to Isle of Berk. So I'm gonna go with Hiccup, and then uh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Loch Ness Monster next for me. Uh, Gotta have an ace landmark in my park. I don't think any. Uh, oh,
I don't think anything else is.
yeah.
That's
Um,
well, you might be right on that, but I'm not 100%. So
yeah. I mean, I don't think anything that's been picked so far is an ace
yeah,
landmark.
nothing that's been picked so far. There might be something else. There might be. I'm looking at the board, and I think there may be one or two that might be, but I'm not sure. I don't keep track, to be honest. But
Oh, okay.
good note.
Well, they there's a couple more of them that kind of made my, sort of also receiving votes dinner at the bottom. Loch Ness Monster. I mean, they did a really good job with the upgrades from a couple years ago. Like now on the lift hill, there's like a Scottish man like screaming at you, sort of in the sort of kind of like Mystic Timbers, um, where you're on the lift and they're warning you, don't go in the wherever, even though you're
You're going.
literally bolted into this machine, you have no other
Yeah.
choice. Um, and there's I mean, I don't know how much of a spoiler it is. They put screens in the tunnel, in that helix tunnel now. Um, and they also have a statue of the monster like down by the water. That's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I think Loch Ness Monster is a good pick here. Cross that out.
Fair enough. Yeah, that was one of there's a few that and Grizzly were ones I was kind of like I was hoping they'd make it a while because I was kind of eyeing those as like kind of sleepers, but no more. Um, let's see next. Um, I mean, shoot, we're already in sleeper territory. I feel like so I am going to take one that is down the board,
Okay.
consensus wise, but one that I also love. Space Mountain, a Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
I think the airtime on this is crazy. I do prefer the Disneyland version, I will say, just because I think the atmosphere and the onboard soundtrack just adds a lot. I think yeah, I definitely miss it with this ride, but just from like the forces standpoint and everything else, this is the more chaotic of the two
mhm.
that I've done between Disneyland and Magic Kingdoms. Obviously, very different rides, just sharing the same name and
Yeah.
theme ish. But yeah, I absolutely love this. Just because the airtime with those restraints is wild. So, and again, I think it's filling out like kind of. I now have like three family thrill coasters, which I think is kind of nice. Um, Now for my next pick, um, I think this one is more like kind of in line with consensus. I'll take Pipeline here. So
Oh,
at
oh,
SeaWorld Orlando is gonna be
oh,
my pick. Another one that was a
oh.
pleasant surprise for me um, in uh, in the rides I've gotten on it. Very much impressed with the unique airtime sensation that is given due to the seating setup. So um, yeah, Pipeline is gonna slot in here, and clearly you were interested in
Oh,
it.
that that was good. I was picking Pipeline next. But
All right.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean with Pipeline I feel the same way. I was surprised uh at how good it was. I'll be honest, I had my doubts, particularly, having ridden other B&M stand-up coasters. You know, fellas, y'all understand, right? And of course, the when that patent came out, they're like, "Oh, we'll put this you know this crab mallet and have it move up and down while you're on a roller coaster." Like that doesn't sound like a good idea. Um, Turns out it's great. So, oh, that's brutal. Come on. And then Space Mountain, I didn't have that on my list.
Oh wow,
Uh,
okay. It was just off the board
yeah, I
completely.
didn't have that on my list. I didn't even think about it. All 27 miles an hour that it goes. Uh,
You
it
you
didn't.
can say that, but I more the Disneyland version, but I do think the sensation of speed it has, even though it is not running fast at all, is like it is well above like the actual like statistic. So, but that is fair. So,
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Man, that was and that's a unique coaster as well.
yep.
Pipeline. Like I don't have Georgia Scorcher on my list or
I
Vortex the Carowinds.
I don't have either of those in mine
Those
either.
didn't make it.
So,
Uh oh boy. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to pivot a little bit. Um I'm gonna go. I mean, this is the 14th round, so I'm gonna go Rapterra.
all right. I'm
It's
shocked how
unique.
low this was on the. I used Captain Coaster for the consensus. I was
Oh, okay.
genuinely surprised that it was like as low as it was.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean the shakiness, it's there, but like I don't think it's a huge deal. Um, they did tighten it up a little bit this year. I think it's running a little better. Um, but I mean, it doesn't bother me that much. I do like, a launched wing coaster. Um, Honestly, I was gonna go Pipeline Rapterra right here with these two picks. Um, just to have that combination in the same park would have been pretty good.
yeah, and especially for unique stuff, you would have
Yeah,
hit those. Yeah, no, that
yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So I'm happy I got one of them.
Oh,
Raptera was a little further
brutal.
down for me, but
It's good.
it
It's a
makes
good run.
sense. Yeah.
Um, I think a worthy successor to a Volcano too. Um, I mean, Volcano was amazing, but like it was, kind of short and, not really the most functional coaster a lot of the time. Uh, so I think they did a good job with Brett Pera. I wish it was a little smoother though. And then my other pick, I mean, oh boy, uh, I see this is where I could lose the draft. This is where I could lose the draft because I honestly think this coaster gets too much hate, but I'm picking it anyway. Cheetah Hunt.
Oh gosh, I was literal. That was going to be my next pick,
Ooh, yeah,
or one of two. I will say.
yeah,
I don't know if it would have actually. No, actually, yeah. Looking that, I was eyeing it and looking at. Yeah, that was going to be my next pick. So that's fantastic.
yeah. Cheetah Hunt's amazing. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, it's not intense. It's a family coaster." Like, okay, it's still good.
Yeah.
It's not bad, right? Like I never rode the original Gwazi. I think it's a fun ride. Um, when they have the water working back there, that's a nice touch. And then like was it the Skycatcher Tower at the beginning? Um, like you get a nice panoramic view of the whole park. Um, and then how often is the cheetah theme coaster right next to actual cheetahs?
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So, is it near the? Because I know they have a running track somewhere. Is it near that, or is that somewhere else?
I guess it is kind of right there. Like, yeah, they have a little. I guess it's a show where they have
Mm-hmm.
the cheetahs run for a stretch. Um, it is pretty much right there. So
That
hopefully
that.
it's open.
No, that's an excellent selection. Civilian satellite approves. Also says the Raptera bounce complaints are overblown. And
Yeah.
also is giving some love to Georgia Scorcher. I thought it was okay, but like I wasn't gonna throw it on this list because I felt it was too polarizing. And actually, just with the it's I thought it was fine, but I wasn't like super impressed with it. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, but good to see it get some love here. Um, Next one I'm going to take. I think I have. Ooh. Yeah, no, I think I do have my next two. So I will take Kumba at Busch Gardens, Tampa. So that'll
Hmm.
be one of them. And then the other one, I think I'm gonna take Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
So, Kumba I haven't ridden, so can't speak. I've ridden Dragon Con, which I thought was fine,
Oh,
which it's similar to Kumba, but
that's
apparently
amazing.
doesn't run as well. From what I've heard, the Hell Roll or whatever it's called is awesome though, and I've heard it's amazing on Kumba as well. Expedition Everest though, even with some middle row rides, um, just the scale of the attraction and the theming, along with like the backward section and everything, I found it to be quite an enjoyable attraction overall. So it was right up there. These two were uh, some of my like they were like the next two on the board, or well, almost actually. One of them still chilling, but um,
Mm.
yeah. So uh, those
Okay.
are those two.
Kumba's
What?
great. Uh, that zero G roll or whatever, wild. And it's iconic too. I think Kumba should be an ace landmark. I don't know uh really what they're waiting for. Like you don't have
Yeah, they
to.
probably should get on that in the
Yeah,
next little while.
yeah. Like I mean you don't have to know anything about roller coasters really. You've seen pictures of
Yeah,
Kumba somewhere.
one of the most
Probably in a math
picturesque
textbook.
coasters of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, the
So
yellow trains and the green track. Oh boy. Um and then with Everest, I wrote it, I want to say in '06, like shortly after it opened. I think
wow,
the Yeti was working, maybe,
that's awesome.
maybe. Um, I don't know. I was such a huge nerd. Like when we got to the part where, you know, the track's broken and you stop for a little while, I turned around to see the track switch behind us. So
Yo, that's
I wanted
sick.
to see that. Uh, yeah. So I mean, I think solid choices. Let's see. I had Everest in honorable mentions. Um, Kumba. I think Kumba was going to be the next pick for me. Okay, let's see. Um, ooh, I think for me, I'm going to go Icebreaker.
That was definitely in consideration with one of the next two.
Yeah, I'm going to go Icebreaker. I mean the trains could use a little help, but you know, uh, it's a punchy little coaster. Um, you know, something else that goes backwards. I'll take it. And then I feel like you need something that's like an internationally recognizable thing. Um, it might not be as good of a coaster, but there's really only so many good coasters you can get in the 17th round. I'm pretty sure you've ridden this, and I have not. I'm
I
gonna
think I know
go
where you're going.
Tron.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh, dang it. Those
yeah,
were probably my next two picks.
Tron. Um, I mean, I haven't been to Disney World since '06, but like, you know, it looks cool. And to be honest, like, you know, if you're on like a marketing team or something, half the battle's just building a pretty coaster, uh, right? That gets people in the door.
Yeah. No, It was a little higher on the board actually for me. It was ahead of those two, but I thought I could get away with maybe waiting another, but clearly not. So
I had it at 20 on my
wow,
list.
I had it at 23, so
Okay.
not far off. But man, that's a great pick at this point. Let's see. Next few. The problem, I'm just kind of like at this point, I probably just kind of want to like fill out what I don't have, but also kind of be aware of what slipped um, on my board personally. One of these, let's see. It is, yeah, I do actually looking at this. This is where it gets difficult. Um, very much so. Ooh, wow, yeah, there really is not a lot to work with. Because I feel like some of the stuff's like redundant. I'm like, do I really want that at this point? I've gone pretty darn heavy on like the family thrill coasters. Like I think I already have
Hmm.
like what, four of them at least. Yeah, I have four of
Okay.
them. So doing pretty good there. Not, I could definitely get more. Um, you know what? This is I don't think this, but yeah. Shoot. Now, yeah. This is the point of the draft.
Okay.
You eventually get to a point. Um, you know what? This is probably not even on your board, but like,
Okay.
but I'll take Mind Blower. A fun
Oh,
spot Kissimmee.
no, didn't make my list.
Yeah, I was kind of like, but at this
Pain.
point, I kind of feel like I don't know necessarily that you're gonna grab the stuff that I want, so
Okay.
I'm kind of cool with it. Um, and honestly, there's a sleeper I really want, and this is definitely going off the board. I have no idea if you have this on yours as well, but
Hmm.
I'm going to take Swamp Fox at Family Kingdom.
Oh,
So, um,
didn't even think of that.
all right, I that way there's my two wooden coasters. So got that kind of filled out, and I
Hmm.
felt, at least for me personally, Mind Blower was like by far the top I had left.
Oh,
Um,
I
Swamp
wasn't gonna
Fox
pick
was was a little down, a little bit of ways, but I was like, you know what, I do want it, so those are my two.
it. Okay. I didn't cross anything off my sheet here. Uh, on those. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else. Oh boy. I mean, we are getting down to it. I got three more picks here. Um, hmm,
Civilian Satellite approves of the Swamp Fox pick.
yeah. To be honest, I can't remember if I wrote that because I went to Myrtle Beach, I think also in 2006. It was,
Okay.
yeah. And we went to some amusement park that had a big white wood coaster. And I can't remember if it was Swamp Fox, which I assumed it was, or what was it
The
called, Hurricane.
Yeah, Hurricane,
Yeah,
which would have died pretty quickly thereafter. That'd be cool if it was that one, but it probably was Swamp Fox. So
I would guess it was Swamp Fox, but I don't really fully remember. Oh, I'm stalling. Uh, I I don't have a flying coaster. Um, I'm gonna go Superman at Over Georgia.
it was on my board, but
Yeah,
yeah, I was. I'll admit it was pretty far back. But
yeah.
at this point, I get it. So,
I mean, this still holds the record for the longest I've ever waited in line for a ride. It was like 4.5 hours.
oh my
It
god,
was miserable. It's like, I
that is
mean,
crazy.
because it was we went on Saturday of spring break in 2010. They had one train.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness gracious! Like, and I was in college and broke, so like we couldn't afford we couldn't afford to skip the line pass, right? Like we parked across the highway for half price at
Oh
the
wow.
hotel that I think that's since been abandoned, right? Like, you know, this, this is what you do when you're on a budget of $15. Uh, you wait in that long line. So Superman over Georgia. Let's see. Has there? I don't think. I don't think there's been a floorless coaster picked, right?
No, there has not.
So I'm gonna go with the longest one. I've nicknamed it a bunch of dumb turns the ride because they clearly went for be the longest floorless coaster. I've got Dominator at King's Dominion. Um, it's solid. It's pretty. Um, it's really about the best you can do at this point in the 19th round.
Yeah, that's fair. That Dominator was in consideration, I will admit. Um, I don't think I'm gonna get the other. I don't think I'm gonna take the other one though.
Oh,
The other floorless. I actually thought it was solid, but I mean, yeah, I don't think it's.
it's
Um,
unremarkable.
and then Vin says you picked two of the three that you were surprised had not been picked yet.
Ah,
So good
okay.
job.
All right.
Um, so I'm like questioning: do I just take the best two available and just kind of close out my lineup that way? They actually kind of make sense too, so that's not a horrible way to go. But yeah, and then like the deep sleepers I have, honestly, I think I'm okay with passing on those. There's like there's like there's four coasters I'm in between. And at this point,
Hmm.
since I control these next two picks, I can name them off. If you
Yeah.
take it, so whatever.
I
Um,
mean,
the ones I'm considering here are White Lightning, Thunder
mhm,
Striker, Apollo's Chariot.
mhm.
Uh, oh, actually, sorry, five. Verbolten and then Escape from Gringotts.
For
Those are the
both.
five I'm considering.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
I think. Uh, Man, I already have two wooden coasters, but I do actually quite like White Lightning, so it is tempting. Um, but nah, actually I think this works. I will take Thunder Striker here at 19. I think it
Okay.
is on paper it's different enough from Goliath, so I think that works. Which I already picked. And then I will take Escape from Gringotts at 20. I think it is
Mhm.
a different enough experience. It has a cool queue as well, so like
Yeah.
I actually like that as a uh, not quite Mr. Irrelevant, but almost Mr. Irrelevant pick, which you have here. So
Yeah. I mean, Thunderstriker and Gringotts I have in my honorable mentions. Um, I guess some other honorable mentions that I'm not gonna pick. Uh, I, I thought of Dark Coaster. Um, it's. I mean, the they seem to have turned down the theming on that. To be honest, now
that's
it's
tough.
really dark coaster, like you're just in a box. Uh, but when it first opened, it was a lot of fun. Um, I also had Great American Scream Machine on here. I loved it. Um, but uh, one of my best friends like threw up on it so severely it was crazy.
That's rough.
Uh,
That
yeah,
is not good.
I mean he gets like motion sickness, but like he got peer pressured into going to Georgia Tech Night at Six Flags. Like our whole dorm was going,
Wow.
and I oh dear.
Out of all things for Great American Scream, although maybe they rode other attractions,
Maybe it
so
was building up, but yeah.
yeah. But I was about to say, I'm like Great American Scream Machine doing that. That's kind of that is just interesting in general.
Well, I mean, this was in 2008, so it
That,
was
oh
a
yeah,
little
it
shaky,
was probably yeah. That is a fair point.
and it hadn't even flooded yet because that was in '09.
Oh, and then
It got
that's
dunked in the river. Um, I thought you would have picked Mindbender at over Georgia.
oh, that wasn't even on the.
Oh,
It
really?
was. I did
Oh,
not have it. I'm not gonna lie.
oh,
That is
honestly.
UDFA for me.
Oh, okay. Sounds like he's getting cut. Yeah, Mindbender was great with the old trains, but they honestly they kind of ruined the ride. Uh, oh boy. Um, I am character you mentioned White Lightning. I'm going with that.
That's a
White
good
Lightning.
pick. Yeah.
Fun little surprise. I didn't expect it to be that good.
Yeah, no, I was the same because I'm like small GCI, and actually I wrote it for the first time years ago. Like my first Orlando visit, I was like, oh wow, that was like quite good.
Hmm.
Um, but then I got rewrite like a bunch of laps on it when I went back, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I need to raise this even more. This is like legitimately like a
It's fun.
really nice wooden coaster. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I think that's an excellent pick. If Mindbender had the old trains, I think it definitely would have been drafted, and it would have been on my list. I've only experienced it with the new trains, and it
Oh.
it was very close. It actually almost made the list. So,
Oh.
um, and I think actually I'm looking at all the coasters that you drafted. I think all of them, because I had more than 40. I had 55 as I listed draftable. I think all of
Mhm.
yours I had listed as draftable. So, um,
Oh yeah.
I will know that. But
I uh only went down to 34 on my board here.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Um Mindbender was 35. I with the old trains, it was with the old trains, it might have been my favorite coaster at Over Georgia. That's how good it was.
Dang.
Like it ripped through that layout. Um and then now it's just kind of it's just it's green or whatever. It's really that's really all it is at this point. It's unfortunate, but I mean, I guess they did the refurb to keep the ride around longer. Um, but like, it's around, and that's it.
Yeah, that's about the best thing you can say about it at this point, unfortunately.
Mm.
For civilian satellite mentions, Little Surprise Shikra did not make it. That is
Oh,
the highest coaster based on consensus that did not get picked. It is 21 on the consensus board. It did not get picked in
21.
40 picks.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so
that's because Griffin is so much better.
Griffin's 19 for reference
Ah,
on the consensus
okay,
board, which is based on Captain Coaster. Some other
okay.
notable snubs: Apollo's Chariot is 24 somehow.
Mm.
Um, and is there any other top 40s that didn't make it? Verbolten is 30. That did not get picked.
Ooh,
Um, and oh, and Rock and Roller Coaster number 40 also did not get picked.
I
So
didn't even think of that.
Um, it was getting close, but I
Mm.
was kind of like, yeah. Shikra, yes, I could have picked it. Theoretically, it would have made sense for the lineup. Again, I am just not a big fan of the dive coasters that I've personally experienced. Actually, Emperor I thought was pretty solid, but even that, like, it doesn't really touch the other coasters that I picked. For me personally, so at least of the ones I've ridden. So
Hmm.
that's why it ended up going. Um, and oh wait, and Kraken did not get drafted. That is 35.
Yeah.
Um, again, I think it's solid, but I felt especially because I mean, yes, I've definitely had some redundancy, but because I picked Kumba, I felt like I was fine just not taking a floorless for the sake of doing it. So, I mean, clearly my lineup I didn't necessarily prioritize balance anyways, but especially that I feel like that's a pretty like kind of like almost minuscule like very niche thing to get at that point. So I'm like I don't need to do that. So um but anyways, I will start the poll for who won
Hmm.
the draft. I
Okay.
think Instagram will be um, handy here as well. Very
Hmm.
curious to see the results. Always fun to see the uh, reactions of like, why did this coaster not get picked? I love it genuinely. So,
I mean, yeah,
um,
it's
or like, why did this go so late? It's always fun. So, um, let's see. So, who won the draft? Um, is in the polling in the chat here. And then
mhm.
as voting goes there, I will get us set up for. I think I'm actually going to flip a few things around. I think we'll do the guest topics first.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
we'll do that, and then I will kind of see where we are time wise. I don't want to exceed, what is it, 3 hours. So
I don't have anywhere to be.
okay. Well,
So,
I'll keep it as an option, but I
yeah.
especially because a lot of the stuff we were doing is like rankings related. I think taking a little bit of a break from that and doing the
Oh,
topics is gonna
okay.
be the move. Um, but let's see. I see. Theoretically, there should be one more vote that would be the tiebreaker in here because it's tied currently.
Oh,
So I'll just kind of um, wait on that. But fun draft, definitely. I would not have guessed this would have been my lineup going in, like at
oh,
all. Um, I think the top, like you picking Velocicoaster, that I'll admit that surprised me just because I thought because Fury is your number one,
yeah.
I thought for sure you were gonna go with that, and so I was banking on the Iron Gwazi Velocicoaster combo,
Oh,
um, and that did not happen. So I had
oh.
to pivot.
No, because I mean, Fury's my number one, but like the audience and the consensus, what everybody thinks, most people have Fury in their like top 10 or whatever, but not number one. Um, I think Velocicoaster uh, is the favorite of the people out there, and it's so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, can't I mean of the bunch I've written, it is my number one, but like there's a lot I'm missing. Like no
Yeah.
Iron Gwazi, no Airy Force, no Stardust, no Pantheria, no Fury 325. So all of those I imagine would
Oh.
probably be in the mix, but until I end up on those. Um, Seeing that the draft here is still at a standstill, so if nobody gets this one in, I will leave it up to Instagram to be the
Oh
kind of
wow.
tiebreaker.
Okay.
Um,
What are people say anything? It's like,
a
I
great
think I
pumpkin
picked.
snub. Actually I should have mentioned that earlier. Someone was like, "Who's gonna pick Daddy Pigs or Great Pumpkin?" I think Civilian Satellite did.
Oh,
Um, but and interesting, Vince says that his top seven or so can be the number one, their number one, depending on how it's running that day. Fury and Velocicoaster are both in that range. I've heard some people say that, and I definitely respect it.
mhm.
I will say my number one for me is like very clear cut, at least like just from my standpoint. But it's cool to hear that.
Mhm.
Because I can definitely see it. I think in the past I would have kind of agreed, like when my coaster count was smaller and it was um, uh, able to go, and it was a lot more I think tricky. I think at this point like Voyage is far and away my number one, so
Mhm.
um, that's pretty difficult too. And I have a hard time seeing it get beaten, but we'll see what ends up happening. So I'll leave that for Instagram. Make sure to vote on there if you haven't already. It ends in a draw here on YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, and we will go ahead and go with the guest topics. So I've done this in the past. kind of occasionally like kind of throwing it
Hmm.
around as far as doing it. So these are just three topics I have for Evan.
All right.
Um, and the first of these is asking about how could you tell us how you became a coaster enthusiast and then also got into coaster photography because I know you do that a little bit on Instagram. So.
Yes. I mean, I guess I'll start with the photography because it's not a big story. I mean, honestly, I'm just a guy with a phone walking around. Um, I've slowly over the past couple years kind of gotten better at noticing like the angles and how stuff's kind of framed or whatever. Um, there's like a lot of like sunsets are always pretty. And then but like I I don't intend to like get a like one of those $2,000 cameras or anything like that. Um, I am well overdue for a new phone. Um, so I'm just gonna get whatever phone has the best camera, but like um I don't think I'm gonna do um too much more into the photography than that. Um it is fun though trying to because like just trying to get all the angles and stuff like I've seen people get like how in the world did you capture this picture. um and I try. um I was at Dollywood a couple weeks ago. And Dollywood's always a pretty park. I took some pictures down there. um but yeah, it's really, you know I had to put something on the Instagram. Like what what goes on it uh other than pictures of me. Like I don't know. So well thank you, Vince. Yeah, it's just, I I feel like I'm one of those people that weird stuff just happens to sometimes. So I try to tell it like it is on the Instagram. Like if something weird happens, it just like the like Hershey Park had like people under 21 aren't allowed to wear face coverings or something. I don't fully understand
What?
what happened.
Huh.
I know there was a fight like on opening day, but like I don't fully
Oh,
understand
so they
what happened.
didn't. That's.
I
Hmm.
don't get, and I don't want to get into it, but like, you know, I for example put that on my story. I get, I try to do the ride counts on the story if I remember. Um, Sometimes I don't remember, or if I'm driving, uh, like at the end of the park day, I'm just ready to get out of there. And how I got to be a coaster enthusiast. I mean, I'm pretty sure like the original Roller Coaster Tycoon like came in a cereal box or something. Like just like with some Cheerios, there was a CD in there. I'm pretty sure
That's
that's how I got it.
crazy.
Yeah, and I've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon for 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just all the time. Um, that's what I would be doing right now uh, if I wasn't on here, or if you had somebody else on, I would have your stream on the other
And play
screen.
play that
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, no, that's a
always.
good setup.
Um,
Yeah.
let's see. I was scared of roller coasters for like my I guess my early teens. Because like it was unknown. Um, I didn't really know how these things worked. I was fascinated by them, but like I didn't necessarily want to ride. Um, I read like one of the books behind me. I bought at the bookstore when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, and it like explained like how the restraints are double locking and the um, the upstop wheels, like stuff you can't really see that keeps people safe. I'm like, oh, well, just nobody's gonna fall out. Like it's just not gonna happen. Um, so uh, so I kind of got over that, and then I mean, the other part of being an enthusiast is financial. Honestly, like I it's an expensive hobby,
Yeah.
and like I've oh my goodness, I was broke and you can't really travel around and do a bunch of fun stuff when you don't have any money. I think my checking account got down to $16 one time,
Wow.
and then I bought something for $12, and it was like, ooh, uh, just
Yeah.
not riding any coasters when your bank account looks like that. It's just,
Yeah.
that's the honest truth of it. So fortunately, um, once I got out of college and was able to start working and advance in my career, I can finally afford to go to all these crazy places. Um, but I mean, like when I was in college, I mentioned this during the draft. Like we rode Goliath over and over and over and over and over, just all the time, and it was so good. And I loved it so much. I simply couldn't get enough. Um, and it's how I ended up here. Like I it's sort of indescribable, but um, it's part of me now. It's too late to go do something else. I guess uh, is that it? I think that's it. Um, yeah,
Well said. I mean, and that's awesome that like obviously as you said now at this point with you having and in the past few years advancing in your career you've been able to go to more places, but
yeah.
I think it's really cool to hear about those who like they just that they ended up going to like their home park for years and years and years and got to really enjoy like in your case Goliath, but like their highlight coasters, and it's like
Mhm.
so much there. I think that's really cool, and well, you've probably seen a lot of changes in over Georgia uh,
Yes.
from when you first started going to your more recent visits. So that's also got to be kind of a neat thing to kind of see as well. So
Oh yeah. I mean, and you mentioned, the home park. I didn't really have that uh like growing up. Like I grew up here in Maryland, and like I we never, like literally never went to Six Flags America. Like all I knew about it was like that place is terrible. We're not going. That's it. I'm like, okay. So like I think we went to King's Dominion maybe 4 times when I was a kid, and I think Busch Gardens one or two other times, and that was it. Um, all the other coaster stuff for the most part's been since I've been an adult. Um, so yeah, you know, I just love it. Like I can't
yeah,
describe it any other way.
yeah. It say I likewise on that part, but yes, the realities of it is an expensive hobby, and now me and being basically kind of I've done mostly everything in California. It's kind of
Hmm.
like oof,
Yeah.
especially right now actually, um, but no, that's great. And I'll move on to my second topic, which is not coaster
Hmm.
related, but
Okay.
um, you're in Maryland, as mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
Do you actually live in Baltimore, or like a little outside of it,
I
or?
live I live a little outside of Baltimore,
Gotcha.
not in town. But I mean, like here in the Northeast, the cities are so close together anyway.
Yeah.
Um, like when the Commanders were playing the Ravens in 2024, CBS did like in one of their like B-roll welcome back to the game sort of video bits. They had somebody drive from uh, Northwest Stadium uh, to the Ravens Stadium, and like they're on the same highway. It's like 25 miles. Like it's not far.
Wow.
But yeah, I live just outside of Baltimore. Born and raised in this area. Um, I lived in Atlanta for a while and I was living and working down there after college too. But I mean, this area is always going to be where I'm from. I can't I can't change that. Like it's just this is always going to be home uh, for me. This sort of central Maryland region. And then on the
Yeah,
Ravens,
on the Ravens,
oh
since
my
that is
goodness.
your hometown team.
Oh boy. Uh, I'm I don't know what it's like to be like, a Jets fan, or certainly your Falcons, Carrick, right? To go through an off season where so much stuff has changed. Like the Ravens got a new head coach this season. Like
Yeah,
Harbaugh's gone. He was Harbaugh was he was there I
I
think
think
18
18 years.
seasons,
Or, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like the how much has the world changed the last 18 years? But the Ravens head coach has not until this year. Wild. It was time for him to go though. He had to go. It because like
Yeah.
all of the issues could be laid at his feet. Um like I say the first rule of leadership is that it's always your fault. And, the being up by, 20 points in the fourth quarter and lose. How is that possible? What happened? What was the series of events that led to this? Um, it's inexplicable. The penalties were his fault, right? Like, the excuse would be made for the Ravens' lack of success last season. Like, oh well, Lamar was out, so you can't expect to win when Lamar was out. But like, the quarterback being injured has nothing to do with the gunner running out of bounds on a punt coverage and getting a 15-yard penalty, right? Like stuff like that. He was wearing me out with just lying to our faces about injuries. Like, you know, I think it was 2022.
Familiar with that,
Yeah, when
unfortunately.
Lamar was talking to, or when Lamar was hurt, and it's like, oh, he's week to week. I'm like, no, he's not. Like, it was pretty clear to me he wasn't coming back. I think it was 2018, the Brashad Perryman situation. Uh, he was a first round wide receiver, I think, out of UCF. Hands of stone on this guy. Just can't catch. Um, but he like hurt his hamstring or something in the first day of training camp that year when he was a rookie. And Harbaugh was like, oh, he's day to day. Perryman didn't play at all that year.
Yep.
He was hurt the whole year, but it was day to day. So,
That is
stuff
tough.
like that was driving me crazy. I mean, it got leaked that the players were kind of tired of him.
Yeah,
You know,
that was
so,
pretty clear.
that's fine. Let's see. So we got a new coach. I don't know a whole lot about Jesse Minter, to be honest. I mean, does he know when to run the ball in the fourth quarter? Right? Does he know when to call timeout? Um, that's really those are my main issues with Harbaugh's. Just like you know, I'm just tired of him. He was wearing me out. We'll see what happens with the new offense. I am overjoyed with the Venga Ioane pick. Oh my goodness gracious. Right? Like, Baltimore's not a glamorous city. Like it's just not. You can play finesse football in Miami or in LA or in Dallas or something. But like, in the AFC North especially, this is the only division where all four teams play outside and it gets cold. Like you have to play hard-nosed physical football. Um, and you want a guy on your offensive line who was just born to push people over. Like that's what he does. I want my offensive lineman big and mean and nasty. Um, I I I want my offensive lineman to just like look. I want him to look like a guy who smells bad all the time, right? It's like, oh my goodness, and maybe we can have a guard this year who can, block the Pittsburgh guy, for example.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God, Daniel Fa Lele. Just you out there do a YouTube search of 77 Ravens lowlights. There's a lot of them. Uh, yeah. Oh my goodness, terrible, terrible, terrible. So I'm excited about that. I wish we had drafted a center. Um,
Yeah,
honestly,
considering.
I honestly I it was inconceivable to me that Tyler Linderbaum was leaving. Like like what do you mean he's
I
leaving?
was
You can't let him
surprised by
leave.
that. Yeah.
The offensive line is terrible, and he's the best one, and now he's gone. So, but I mean the Raiders they paid a center tackle money. So good for Linderbaum because he's deserves every penny of it. But like, wow,
Yeah, that was
uh,
a surprising amount that they
yeah,
gave.
he got paid $1 bajillion. Um, the rest of the Ravens draft picks, I didn't uh, do like my usual deep dive into the draft like I have in previous years because I was driving to Dollywood that Thursday night. Um, so yeah,
Understandable reason.
yeah. Um, I mean, honestly, well, my expectations like this is why coaches get fired when the expectations are high and the results don't match. That's how you get sent up the road. Um, when the whole is less than the sum of the parts, you can't have all these all pros and stuff on this team and have a losing record and miss the playoffs. Like, that just can't happen. Um, the Ravens. Oh, oh, okay. The
Yeah, I
Ravens
just
tied.
realized I needed to take
Yeah,
the draft
that was up
off
there.
because we're well done at this point. But
Yeah,
I guess,
the Ravens tied the Broncos and Seahawks and I think the 49ers or somebody with like having the most Pro Bowlers and like the Broncos and the Seahawks were the one seeds in the conference. The Ravens didn't make the playoffs. Like, well, why?
yeah.
Why didn't we win? So hopefully a lot of that stuff gets cleaned up. I'm not convinced that defensive tackle Justin or Namdi Matabike is coming back.
Yeah.
Like it also leaks that he's just done and like sold his house here and it's like never coming back. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not concerned with the receiver position just because, like, I mean, it's a lot made with the Ravens about, oh, the receivers, we need to draft receivers. Like, well, the guys we draft don't usually turn out. Like, the first ever receiver drafted by the Ravens to make the Pro Bowl was Zay Flowers.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty rough.
like 2 years ago. So, it's been like the Hollywood Brown experience, right?
Yeah.
That was
Well, to be fair, you guys
86
did get a
lost.
first round pick for that, back for that, which was kind of crazy at the time, it
Yes,
felt like.
it was Tyler Linderbaum, right?
Yeah,
We
I believe
swapped
so.
Hollywood Brown for Tyler Linderbaum, which is incredible. I mean, honestly, we're getting into the part of the season where it's like, or the part of the off season where it's like
Where it's
every
like
time my
just,
phone buzzes, it can only be bad news, right?
yeah,
Like
that's true.
the season can be over before it even starts. And like every time I see notification, like, oh no, what happened? Because I mean, that's just part of the game, unfortunately. So I think the vibes are high. I think the expectations are high, and I hope Jesse Minter's up for it because, I mean, it's harder to win when you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
Honestly, Tyler Luke missing that kick in Pittsburgh, like not only did it win me a couple dollars because I saw that coming from a mile away, might have been the best thing that's happened to the Ravens because, like, we were going to get smoked by the Texans at home in the playoffs instead of Pittsburgh.
I know your owner did say he was gonna likely move on, even if, but I mean,
yeah,
of course you can say that all you want. But I assume that's probably true. But
it was looking like it was getting to be time, and like Steve Bisciotti is incredible anyway, right? Like, I'm not entirely sure what he did to make all his money, but like he wasn't born into a whole bunch of wealth.
Yeah.
Um, so he certainly handled firing the coach better than um, the Bills owner did. That was kind of a mess.
Yeah, that whole situation was oh boy. As far as
Yeah,
the whole
I don't
thing
know what
there
they're doing.
was not great. So yeah.
No, no. So, I mean, we'll see in September. Uh, the Ravens have had some really brutal off seasons in the past. 2021 comes to mind. Just everybody's hurt before he even kicked off. Um, so hopefully, just get to week one healthy and, got a little bit easier of a schedule. Um, your Atlanta Falcons are on it.
Yep.
I might try to go to that game. Um, I might. Depends on, what, like, if it's on a Thursday night or something, I'm not going to be able to make it to that. Um, but yeah, expectations are high, and we will see what happens.
Yeah, no, that is fair. I believe in Minter. I uh, know that he did a good job with the defense way back when he was in at Michigan, but also with the Chargers more recently. He did a really good job there. I know that a lot of fans were sad to see him go as a DC. Obviously, as a head coach, that's still unproven, but
Yeah.
he was a candidate that obviously the Falcons were in the pool too to get a head coach. Even though
Mhm.
the idea was we were going to get an offensive mind. If we didn't, he was the top guy I wanted. So I think he should be pretty good, hopefully. So um, and in a way, it is kind of nice that at least he was in the building previously, so he has familiarity with how things work. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it doesn't lead to the issue of like things not changing. I don't think it would, just because he's a lot younger and probably
Mhm.
like very different in overall coaching style and everything. And probably actually, if anything, I know the issues had like allegedly persisted for years, so he theoretically would have a like first-hand view of what happened in some of those years. So that
Yeah.
might be a good
Um,
thing.
I mean,
But
yeah, Harbaugh. I mean, he'd been here so long. Like he just kind of, like he'd been here so long, and like he had success, and it was consistent success, but then started waning, and he almost got fired in like 2017. And then we drafted Lamar, and that changed everything.
yep.
Um, so it's honestly drafting Lamar, that was wild. I actually went to bed that draft night. It's like we picked
Oh,
Hayden Hurst, and I'm like, oh well, we picked somebody who's un unremarkable. That's fine. And
which
I'm
you were
tired.
right
So
on that,
I
unfortunately. But
I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next morning and I'm like, oh my god, we drafted Lamar Jackson. Um, I don't know how big of a college football fan you are, but Lamar was a revelation in college. Um, obviously.
no, he had a ton of hype coming out of Louisville. I kind of followed and I'd seen like the like kind of highlights of him. It
Hmm.
was and obviously he in hindsight should have been picked way earlier, but
Yeah,
just because I mean to get that at the end to get Lamar at the end of the first round is ridiculous. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
I heard a
that
story about how oh not Bobby Petrino, I think, was the coach
oh
at
boy,
Louisville, like when Lamar was a freshman. Yeah, I think it was him. And like, Lamar's a great athlete, obviously, and I think Petrino had him like returning punts or something one time. And Lamar told his mom, and Lamar's mom was in Bobby Petrino's office the next day. My son's a
yeah.
quarterback. So, um, it's. I mean, yeah, he was electric at Louisville, and it's just it's weird how the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl from that draft class is Sam Darnold, of all people. I,
Yeah. Who would have ever thought?
yeah.
But
Um,
honestly, happy he was able to save his
I, I,
career after the
I wouldn't have
Jets.
thought it.
Um, and I'm not gonna
I
lie. I mean,
mean,
most people were, but because some people held on the hope for Darnold for so long, and it was like, okay, like after Carolina, I was like, all right, like this is done. Like this is done. But there's a few people that still held out hope
yeah.
for him, and oh, I guess they were right in the end. But that's wild how he was able to resurrect his career in
I
Minnesota to
mean,
start
I
off,
think
and then Seattle, obviously.
I think just the overall stench of the Jets for like the past 60 years at this point, like, it's gonna be kind of overwhelming, you
Yeah,
know.
it's
So,
obviously a lot. So
like, who does have success there? Find me that person.
that is very true. So, um, but yeah, but good to hear your thoughts on the Ravens. Hoping for your sake as well that they do end up
Oh,
having some more success. Obviously, the goal would be a Super Bowl victory. That would be quite the task for a first year head coach, but we'll see.
I mean,
Um,
I hope it's like the 2015 Broncos. They got rid of John Fox
and
after
they brought
a
in
playoff
Kubiak.
disaster. They brought in
Yeah,
Kubiak. He wasn't
and
a
he was a,
new coach though,
yeah,
but they won the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
um,
with some
we'll
of
see what happens
no disrespect to Manning, great, awesome career, but my God, that last year was that was
with
kind
Peyton
of tough to
Manning.
watch. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I mean that defense was absolutely legendary, and yeah, I'll just kind of leave it there
Mhm.
because Manning was very much at the end there, but he got it done in the end, so good for him. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll move on to the final topic,
Mhm.
which is one that I've had on
Okay, the
interest in
food.
for a while. Best and worst food item you've ever had at a park. If maybe
Okay.
you don't have an absolute best or worst, you can just kind of name drop some. But the ones you
I
would
mean,
basically
I've got.
recommend highly are like absolutely not, I guess.
Oh, let's see. Well, I mean, first food that comes to mind is Mrs. Knott's chicken dinner. Like, I
Excellent
you
pick,
have to go to Mrs. Knott's. Like,
which I still
I
haven't yet, which is absurd.
I
But
I'm I'm not asking, right? You have to do it. It's incredible. Like you get a whole half chicken and potatoes and salad and biscuits and pie and corn and soup for like $30. And then, by the way, Ghost Rider's here too. Like, you can't beat that. The Dollywood cinnamon bread is up there, obviously. Um, and then I got when I was at Disney California Adventure, I got the bacon cheeseburger from whatever restaurant's next to Soren right there.
okay,
That was really good. Um,
I'll have to try that.
and then for yeah, uh, nothing else is really coming to mind. I mean, to be honest, I don't really eat at parks that often, just because
Fair.
like you know, just having grown up and my young adult life being broke, I'm like I'm not paying for all this.
Yeah, I
Um,
get food outside the park, and it'll be better and
yeah,
obviously, well, I guess depending on, but you can get it a lot cheaper for sure. So,
yeah. Cedar Point at the like farmhouse or Back
ooh, okay,
BQ or maybe both of those. Those are
those are
pretty
good
good.
shout outs.
I can't think of a bad food item. I mean, this is I'm gonna get canceled for this. I had I tried butterbeer for the first time. Didn't love it.
Oh, oh wow, okay.
Like it was too rich for me. Uh, like maybe because I got the I don't know cold, but not the frozen or the hot. So like maybe that had something to do with it, but like it wasn't it was too rich of a flavor. Didn't love it. And
Okay.
then yeah, the this isn't a food item that I ate or purchased, but I saw. Carrick, you met my friend Eric at Hollywood
Hollywood
Nights.
Nights. Yep.
Yeah, and I think this was that week actually. He got the macaroni and cheese, nominally macaroni and cheese, I guess, from Miami River Brew House, and it was like, those memes that come up around Thanksgiving of people's terrible cooking.
Oh my
It
god.
was mac and
Yeah.
cheese like that.
Whoa.
Like, what in the world? It was like some spirally noodles with some like sprinkled cheese out of a bag on top of it. I'm like, what is that? Unbelievable. I didn't taste it. I took a picture of it. And yeah, apparently wasn't good. So, um,
I
usually,
gotta you gotta send me this after
oh
this.
my
I
goodness
want to see
gracious.
it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. We were sitting in that little patio by the Diamondback splashdown. And like they came and brought us that. I'm like, what in the world?
that is so tough or so bad.
So bad. Oh, that was brutal. Um, but I mean, yeah, other than that, I don't really eat a whole lot at parks. Um,
I'm kind of the same way. It's just kind of I'm curious because sometimes you'll hear like I mean people vouch for things like heavily, and then other people have like horror stories of like, oh yeah, I ate this
oh,
thing and it was a disaster. Fortunately, I've never had the disaster aspect of it. I will just say like it's a shout out some like best items on my end. I mean, honestly, mostly just kind of anything at Aunt Granny's at Dollywood. So we'll just shout out that restaurant as a
okay.
whole. Um, the I, just being able to have the Thanksgiving food at Plymouth Rock Cafe at Holiday World, I have to shout that out too.
Yeah.
Having that not any time of year because it's not year round park, but like in the summer, being able to have that is pretty cool. So I love that.
Mhm.
Um, and then um, Disneyland, even though it's one of my favorite parks, I actually, because I've only been recently a few times, like as an enthusiast, I definitely need to have more food there because I know there's some really good options that I have not had yet, or at least like before I was an enthusiast and I wouldn't remember. But Galaxy's Edge, I do really like the Rana wrap there, so we'll mention
Oh,
that.
okay.
Um, on the worst end of things, um, again, I haven't had anything that's like egregious, like just like a complete disaster. But there's stuff that I've had that's subpar. Honestly, almost any Six Flags Discovery Kingdom food in general, like
Oh, I
yeah,
knew not to eat there. Right.
it,
Like I
yeah.
watched your vlog. Like
Oh yeah, that's
you
true.
you
Of those
waited
moments.
hours
Okay,
for a
but
hot dog.
even before that,
Like, oh,
and even if we're just judging based on the quality of the food, I've
yeah.
had nothing. Like everything's been like well subpar, whether it was like the hot dog or whatever else I've had. Um, Kings Island. I think the restaurant's closed, but I had tacos at some place. I mean, they weren't horrible, but they were like the most bland tacos I've had on like in my life. Which I mean, I guess kind of makes sense geographically. And then Magic
Hmm.
Mountain, I don't like chopsticks at the Six Flags parks, or at least the only time I've had it, it's been at Magic Mountain. Had the orange chicken, and my dad shouts it out actually here as well. In chopsticks, yeah, that one's yikes. I know some people
Uh,
like it, so maybe I just had a bad
I think,
experience, but did
yeah,
not
no, I mean, a lot
like
of these
that at
Six
all.
Flags parks, I'm usually starving at the end of the day. I'm not paying like the price for a Five Guys burger, but getting like a middle school cafeteria burger. Like that's bad business. I'm just not interested in doing that. Um, I think I had chopsticks one time.
Okay.
Um,
What's weird is I've kind of heard
yeah,
from
I think
different
I had it
people that
once.
they've like sometimes changed how like either recipe or like how the food's done or like what it is specifically. So apparently, I think some locations are like better than others, or like there was a point where one location was okay, but then they changed it and now it's bad, or vice versa. I've heard some of that from some people, so maybe
Hmm.
I got it when it was like just not good. I don't know, but yeah, that had to
Yeah,
be on
I,
here because
I,
that was a travesty. Um, when I had it at Magic Mountain, probably did not help that it was like really rainy that day as well, and that park just depending on where you are, there's just the lack of
closes.
rain cover. Or it could close. It actually did
Okay.
not, but when I went,
Oh,
this was many many years ago, but because it eventually cleared up, but it was like raining pretty hard.
okay.
And yeah, that was not great. So maybe it was
Okay.
extra miserable because of that. But that'll
Hmm.
wrap it up for the topics. At this
Okay.
point, 2:45 in. I think I will go to, um, let's see, final Q&A slash buy or sell. So any questions or buy or sells that we have left. Um,
Did
because
anybody comment on their food uh
I did see
situation?
I did see Chopsticks get mentioned as well by my dad, so we'll shout that out there. Not seeing much else related to that. So, but yeah, any last
Okay.
questions? Any last buy or sells? We'll kind of go based on that. Um, I do realize that by the way, for those of you either watching now or afterwards, if you are doing finals right now, which I also kind of realize it's either finals week or close to it, so that probably is going to make
Oh
things
yeah.
tricky. Best of luck with that, but also apologize for the canvas um, like breach or whatever it was. Like apparently that's like just down, like, and that's like a thing that most of the colleges use for like the online assignments and
Oh,
everything. That's a
okay.
disaster. So apologies there for anyone who's going through with that. That would be awful.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine doing that. And I've seen like some of the like remedies or like so some of the way I've seen some teachers handle it like that have gone viral is like ridiculously there's a few examples where it not handled great. Other cases it's I think most of which people are understanding of the crazy situation this is. uh, on the topic of food, holiday world food rocks, so have that. um, but yeah, just got to throw that out there. Like, best of luck to you all in this bizarre finals circumstance that is
Oh,
this final season. Um, but
didn't even occur to me that it was finals week. Like I
yeah, this week
graduated
and
from
next week
college
for
so
a lot
long
of
ago.
people.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people post about it, and then this was before, and
Okay.
now even
Yeah.
more people are like, "Oh no, I procrastinated on this assignment, and now like I can't access it or the materials," and it's like that's tough.
Not great.
Um, yeah, no, that is not great, but um,
Hmm.
not much else has come in here yet, so
Okay.
um, I do know that is something I didn't realize until like kind of this week. I'm like, okay, that could affect viewership, as I know there's I think a decent amount of viewers who um, are would be taking finals. Um,
Oh yeah.
so
I mean, I don't
yeah,
I don't miss finals at all. Uh, that was that was an experience. Um,
yeah,
just I had some crazy professors too. Like one of my professors, uh, he the exam period was from like 8 to 11 or something, and he was like, "Y'all should get there at 6." Like, okay,
what that is
and
that
sure enough, the
is
exam took like 5 hours.
Oh my God.
That was crazy. Yeah. Um, I don't
Engineering,
think
right?
you're allowed to do that anymore. Yes.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
that mad respect
You gotta.
for going through that.
If I mean, at Georgia Tech, we didn't call it graduating. We just called it getting out. Like I'm not graduating. I'm just done with this craziness. Um, but yeah, there was that exam. There's some of these exams were just brutally difficult. Like you study and study and study, and you get to this test, and it's like I've never seen this before. I've been to every class. Um, I heard of professors who fail everybody. Just they got like a friend of mine was an aerospace engineering major, and the professor, she was like, "Yeah, I'll just see all y'all next semester because this wasn't good."
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
That is
Um,
different
I mean,
different world than my experience, but a lot more difficult of major and I would say a lot more of a prestigious school, so that makes
I
sense.
mean, we, I, I feel like I'm so old, and like we use paper, for example. Like, I don't want to be kids today guy, but like they don't use paper.
Well, I mean, sometimes I had
Oh,
scantrons that were physical. But that's about
oh,
as
okay.
much as I can.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about scantrons, like multiple choice and whatnot. So, like that's what we're talking about. So,
yeah.
um, but I mean, only
Hmm.
a semester removed, but I do not miss it, and I am like, well, thank God my last semester wasn't whatever this mess is now. So, that they're dealing with. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
yeah,
Well,
that is
congratulations to you for uh, graduating, or maybe you feel like it was just getting out. Uh,
I would not say that. It was
okay.
there were some times where things got a little crunchy and whatnot, but it I mean I can't really complain that much. I didn't think it was I don't think the classes were too difficult. It was more so it was a lot of project based stuff and also group
Hmm.
work that I did. And so the stress of it at certain points, like
Yes.
meeting the deadlines and like, oh, this person they didn't do their thing, so gotta quickly do this or whatever, or like kind of
Hmm.
redistribute. Um, like there definitely was a lot of stress there, but I mean, got through it, I'd say, without too much crazy difficulty. So, um, but yeah, I would not say it was like yes, I like or like I'm just like I need to get out of here like at this point. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
but
no, it
I
was.
can get it
I
from
mean,
your standpoint why it would be that way.
I did 10 semesters. Like, it wasn't, I mean, it was 5 years. A friend of mine, he graduated, like, we started the same year, but he graduated 2 years after me. Uh, like, he was in there for a while. Um,
Wow.
and, like, I got invited to his graduation party, and I was like, this is the end of an era. Like, when you're an eighth year senior, like, that's, that's saying something. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, since we're in a speculative portion of the stream, I do feel like the park presidents thing, how Six Flags named 10 parks to have park presidents, but like they didn't for like
Oh, hold on. You froze on my end. Let me check. You're back.
yeah,
Okay, you're back. You froze like on my
yeah,
end as you were
um,
mentioning
yeah,
the
the 10 parks. Okay, yeah,
yeah, you're back now.
The
but
president situation. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
go
I
into
I
that.
mean, they say, oh, we're not selling any more parks this year.
For yeah,
Well,
this year doing a lot of heavy
yeah,
lifting.
like, like, I don't want to hear what you're not saying, but I also definitely hear what you're not saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
these are tough financial times. I get it. Uh, but you know, don't try to pull the wool over my eyes, right? Some stuff's just obvious, you know,
Yeah.
like I, I, I it's unfortunate, but
Yeah. I
such is
I
life.
yeah, at this point, like I would expect I was actually talking with a few people about this, especially with the recent earnings call, like kind of, you know, discussing like what exactly do I expect out of the currently of the dry parks there are, excluding Kidia because that's its own thing, nine
Yeah,
that are not of that 10. I mean, one of them CGA though, so that one already has a sealed fate. But the rest, you have six that are non-EPR and the two EPR in Frontier City and Darien Lake. I know that they didn't get out of those, the operators contracts. I would have to guess they are probably going to try to transfer those operator contracts somehow if they can. I don't see
hmm
how Frontier City and Darien Lake fits in the like new Six Flags chain. They kind of seem like outliers with the current
yeah,
like selection that they have. Um, and I mean, especially since Six Flags doesn't even own them, I just if they can get out of those contracts and transfer them over to Premier Parks or Enchanted or whoever, I bet they probably do.
enchanted.
But the other
Yeah,
six, I'm genuinely curious, like what's going to happen. I don't think it's a for sure thing that they're just like gonna like be selling them off all like that quickly. Um,
hmm
but there's certain ones I would be a little more concerned about than others as far as like if they get moved. Um, I know that like there were a lot of like rumors that I guess did not end up being true with like Fiesta Texas. There was a lot of like smoke around like allegedly that
yeah.
had already been sold off, and well, that clearly isn't the case. Not to say that maybe there isn't some talks going on behind the scenes, but clearly whatever someone heard was not accurate.
Yeah.
Um, but
It's also definitely not nothing.
yeah, I mean, I definitely, but I'm just kind of Fiesta Texas specifically. I'm like, I feel like someone would have to offer like quite the offer. I feel like to move off of it because I don't think these parks are like the other ones that got sold to Enchanted. That is like they sold them and they weren't worth much.
They they
Um,
they sold those parks for a bag of beans, like relatively, right? Like $300 million. I feel like we could call some people and pass a hat around. That's not an inconceivable amount of money to come up with for like 10 amusement parks. So just one, say it's $30 million. Like, I, that almost sounds affordable. Like they, it shocked me that they sold all those parks for that little money.
I think it ended up being I forget if it was 7 or 8 if you count Schlitterbahn, but it was one I was they ended up selling 7 or 8 I believe in that transaction. Um, but I mean yeah I was surprised, but at the same time if they just wanted to unload the parks, like I don't really see who else would have been interested in most of those. So
Well, they can
I kind of see
they
why
could
they
they could
did
have
it
sold them to me for like $20,
though.
right? Like you just want to get rid of it. Like okay, you know,
Also,
uh,
it was kind of interesting because I don't know if you saw this when it happened, but the amount they sold them for was almost exactly what the estimated cost was to buy out the remaining part of Over Georgia that they had to pay for to get full ownership. I believe it sold for
mhm.
331 mil, and I believe the estimated cost uh, get the remaining ownership of Six Flags Over Georgia left from the shareholders that had it after for all these years was
Hmm.
332. So it was like that's kind of interesting that it lined up almost exactly with that. So
Yeah.
um,
I also think Enchanted Park should make Valley Fair their flagship park. I thought Valley Fair was just wonderful.
yeah, that park.
I'm
I
sad about that.
I feel like there's a lot, and I think the locals feel that there's a lot of hidden potential there. And I know they've
Hmm.
taught they when it was in the Cedar Fair chain, like whenever they talked about new additions, they were like saying, "Oh, we have to make like infrastructure improvements to be able to like handle like the crowds and whatnot." I think something like I think related to maybe like a expanded lot or something like that, amongst other
Hmm.
things. Um, and I would have thought maybe they eventually would have been interested in doing that, but I guess they never did. And I'm curious if Enchanted is interested in tapping into that because I think you have a point there. I definitely was surprised with St. Louis them naming that. I would have assumed it would have been either that or Worlds of Fun. I'm especially shocked that it wasn't like the one they came out with specifically with St. Louis over Worlds of Fun because that has the Kansas City area that's growing. So that one and has so much land
Yeah.
to work with too. That one I think I was surprised that they didn't name that one immediately as like, oh yes, this is going to be our
Worlds of
flagship. So
Worlds of Fun is huge. Like it's so big, and there's so much empty space. Like you could put something good in, and you know, like get a big crowd in there.
yeah,
Um,
no, I absolutely agree. I personally think they did not make the wise. I mean, well, I guess obviously in hindsight, but I think some of the additions they've done when they have given that park like right additions have not been the best ideas. Like I like
yeah.
Zambezi Zinger was kind of cool, like just from the standpoint of it was like an homage to the original, although obviously it ended up having a lot of issues its opening year and whatnot. But I think even from the start, just a weird ride to put there after they had such a long drought. When their last most recent coaster was Prowler, and also your last
Mhm.
most recent coaster project that was significant was like the Timberwolf refurb. I don't know why they decided
Uh,
to go back to the wooden coaster. Well, I didn't seem to work out all that great, unfortunately. Um,
the enclosed spiral lift hill is
oh my
so
god,
dumb.
and that's yeah. At this point, the fact they had to close it up, I'm just like, yikes.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like being in a vending machine. You're
you
just in
wait,
this
have you
dark
actually
box.
ridden? You have you actually
Yes.
ridden it with? Oh my god,
Yeah. It's loud clanking around. Like what? Why do we have this?
because
Why?
it couldn't run in the rain. So I guess maybe now it can.
It's
But
just
that's tough.
I don't get. Yeah,
No,
that
I
that
I
was.
completely agree that that was like. I mean, I when they did that, I'm like, yeah, that just kind of kills like the whole point of the spiral lift. I'm like, man. So that
Mhm.
was tough. I mean, that was not good.
They
At
should
all.
have put like a like a sort of glass dome around it or something.
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised
mean,
they decided to completely like just enclose it. That was pretty wild.
it's ugly
Um,
too.
yeah, no, last stream we had JV on and he wasn't even aware that they did that when we brought it. He brought it up and I told him like, you do know that they enclosed it, right? I sent him the pictures afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Of it, and he was like, "Oh my
yeah.
gosh,
I was watching.
it just it's not the same."
No, not not some BC singer.
Yeah, and now the OG is like straight up dead. So, because it was relocated elsewhere, and it recently went defunct in the last 2 years. So, your audio cut out for a sec. Hold on.
Yeah, it did. Uh,
Oh,
I don't.
now
I
we're
mean,
back.
I don't know. It's It might not even be back yet. Okay,
Yeah, no, you're back. But
maybe.
um, the audio cut out for a
Okay,
sec, but you're back now. Um,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, Enchanted Parks also, I'm very curious to see how that overall just goes as far as like what they end up doing with the parks there. So
I don't think they're going to do anything.
I
Like
mean, yeah.
what are they going to do? Right? Like I don't see, you know, any like huge record-breaking coasters
I don't think
just
so there.
coming through anytime soon. So like what are they going to do? Uh, we got brand new Bench the Ride, new for 2027, maybe. Like just
Yeah.
I don't I don't think, you know, I feel like those parks are just going to be parks that exist and, maybe they paint some stuff. I think it's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's I guess it's a fair because EPR obviously being the actual like owner of the parks and they're just the operator. I have a little bit of hope
Mhm.
because they had at least I mean it's I did mention this on the Enchanted Park stream. They did take over the water park in like the water park resort in New York. They um they are adding again, it's not a huge addition, but they are giving them an SPF spinner, I think, on the dry part of the thing. So at least it's like, well, if the complaint was like the premier park, they literally don't like give them anything. It's like, well, at least we have
Mhm.
something that shows they actually gave a park something. I don't expect the additions to be like massive, obviously, and not necessarily even ride focused. I definitely like your bench statement is probably not too far off. Like probably a lot of like infrastructure and things of that sort. Um, but we'll see. Um, I'm at least interested because um, like just at least there's a little bit of hope there with how they've handled the water park up to this point. But I can understand why a lot of people are just like, yeah, they might literally just exist and stay like extremely stagnant. So, but
Yeah.
we'll find out the next few-ish years. I would probably say
Yeah.
so. Um, yeah. Uh, Nothing else of note that I can see has come through in the chat. So I think that
Mhm.
will probably wrap it up. If you have any last thoughts or any last things you want to mention, I'll give you the floor to do that.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Six Flags and Cedar Fair merger, like, you know, Cedar Point's kind of like Thanos. They're just gonna grab up everything because they're running the show, and like the merger was really just to get like the big three or so legacy Six Flags parks and merge them with Cedar Point and Kings Island, and then everybody else is just kind of like, well, you know, whatever happens to you is fine, but we got the big guys. And it seems
that
kind of the way it's going.
I mean, that I can understand that for sure. I'm hoping. I mean, they at least right now up to this point, like that 10 is like a pretty clear like that is a line obviously that's been drawn, and I could
Yeah.
see that like even within that 10 there will obviously be parks like probably the ones you mentioned. Uh, that although I probably throw Carowinds in there just because it has that corporate and
Yeah.
headquarters and they have the tax breaks and whatnot. I think negotiated there, so that'd probably be in the six kind of that you mentioned, and then we'll kind of see
Hmm.
from there what the other ones are. And obviously the ones that are just straight up outside of the 10, yeah, they unfortunately they're probably going to be like kind of the new. Um, I hope not, but like kind of like the Michigans, like the what the parks were previously that were down there. So,
Yeah.
but which I mean, I for most of us, I hate
Uh,
to see that. So, but we'll see what happens. But Um, but yeah, so um, fun show. Happy to have you on here after all this time as a Coaster Time guest, finally. So, was awesome to have you on here, Evan. If you want to mention any last things before we do the outro, you can do so. But yeah, we'll roll from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, is it? Can you still hear me at least?
I hear
No.
you. Yeah, your screen froze, but I hear
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
the audio is still good.
uh, oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Carrick, thank you so much for having me on here. I never thought I would be a guest on one of these. Like I've been watching these streams. You had, I think, Coast Tunes on at like Coaster Time 4 or something like that. That's how
It
I
was early
found
on, yeah.
these. Yeah. Um, so, just to be in the sort of pantheon of featured guests is pretty amazing. And I admire how you do. You're so prepared with this, and I'm just a mess. Like that's why there's nothing behind me because I moved it all out of the way. It's just off camera. Um, and I think I appreciate how this is. These live streams are kind of where the coaster community comes together. Um, there's plenty of things to get mad about uh, everywhere else, but
Oh,
we come in
absolutely.
here and we just have a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I mean, I try not to miss any of these live streams when you have them. Like sometimes I'm at a park and I can't like just sit and watch. But yeah, it's been amazing getting come on here and just talk about coasters and football and uh whatever else.
And
But you
likewise.
you got to come back. Yeah, you got to come back to the Mid Atlantic region. This is where all the stuff is. You haven't been
Yeah.
on Wildcats Revenge yet. You haven't been to
Mm-mm.
Carowinds. You missed King Dakar.
Yeah,
See, I
which
mean,
that
yeah.
was brutal. If that I was considering doing a last ditch effort for that for COT when it was clear that it was likely Dunzo, but
Mhm.
the unfortunately by the time I did all the math and I saw I'm like, yeah, I can't justify this.
It's gonna
So
be a bajillion dollars. Yeah.
to get flights from my local airport to there, or to like the one of the, I forget if it was Philly or what airport it was, but one of the nearby ones. Oh, and then yeah, the other issue, the
Mhm.
rental car would have been difficult in my circumstance, and it's just not like close. But it like even plane tickets from my local
Mhm.
airport, it would have been like $600 round trip. So that already was like the starting point, and I'm like, yep, that's not gonna work, I don't think. And oh, El Toro was not gonna be open either, so I'm like, yeah, no way. I just
Oh,
I'm because I believe it ended up closing a little early for the season or before
okay.
Ka ended up. So I was like, okay, yep. I rode Dragster. I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna have to sacrifice this,
I
unfortunately.
didn't write that
So
one.
um,
I don't know. I thought King Dakar was overrated anyway, to be honest. Like it's
I love
yeah.
Dragster, so I was like, I probably would have loved Ka too, but unfortunately
Mhm.
could not get out to it. But hey, I definitely do need to get back into the
3 hour
region.
drive away. Yeah. This is where all the stuff is,
Yeah, I mean it
right?
100% is. So, um, yeah, it's on the to-do list. Um, but with that being said, I will get to our outro. So, for those of you watching
Mhm.
here live now and afterwards, thank you all for watching. I will just mention actually here as a last thing actually that the next few weeks are going to be a little busy for me, so I'm going to expect next stream probably is going to be in June, probably like late May at absolute earliest, but we're probably talking June. Already have been in
Mhm.
talks with other guests as well, as far as getting a few on. So hopefully that works out. But wanted to give that update there before I head out. But now with that all said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time here on Coaster Hour. See you all.